That's loud. Alright. I like that. That's good. Oh, I guess I gotta turn the camera on, right? Where is it? There it is. Hi, camera. There you are. Hey. Hey. Welcome. Welcome. I'm back. As you can see behind me, the studio's tore up. That's an old computer. That's the computer I blew up. I kept thinking, because I'm like, I remember. I turn you down. So many things here. Volume. Wait, go back. Where's the back? There it is. Okay, that's better. But yeah, this is a pre-show. Just gonna make sure everything's working, nothing's broken. You know what I mean? Let me see, where is it? Go over here. Actually, I should pull it up there, but I'm gonna do it over here. I can barely hear it, which is fine. Do beat, boo boo. But anyway, it's really about the music right now. So enjoy. And we're gonna start in a few, like 10. We're gonna talk about Paris Games Week. We're gonna talk about Thor Ragnarok. Good stuff. Oh, let me turn this down again. Also, what was I gonna say? Oh, how do you say? Oh, the reason why I haven't been doing shows, blah blah blah, and all that good stuff is because we're moving. We're moving. House is sold. Just gotta close. Y'all know about that. If you don't know about that, I'm not gonna tell you about that. You just go look it up on the Googles because it's boring. But our closing on the two properties are on the same day, so it's gonna be hectic. We have fish. I don't know. We have dogs and cats. I don't know what's gonna happen. It's gonna be Ragnarok up in her. So we're gonna do that. And packing isn't bad. Moving. The worst part about this is waiting. Waiting sucketh. I wish it would be like tomorrow. Well, not tomorrow because we got a lot of packing to do. But sooner than later. So we'll be here through the year. So the new year means new house, new studio. I have my own building, son. Forget Doomplague. I'm buying 2 buildings. What you got to say about that? Pace got 2 buildings. Huh. So I have to insulate, soundproof the building that I'm going to build my studio in. Put an AC in it because there's no AC in it. And we'll see how that works out. I'm going to go see it tomorrow, the property. I'm going to see the property tomorrow. So that'll be interesting. What else? Yeah. I mean, I think about you think about the stuff you have, right? You're like, what do I have? If I move, what do I have? It's like, okay, that's heavy. That's heavy. We're not taking appliances. Couch, kind of heavy. Beds, you can take them apart, so not so bad, but still kind of heavy. So there's a handful of heavy things, maybe 10 heavy things. Everything else is just boxes and clothes and knicky-knack and bricky-bracks. And I hate asking people to move because people don't want to help you move, So I'm gonna build me a little dolly. Cause I remember when the dude delivered our furniture, the heaviest piece of furniture, which is a long dresser. He did it by himself. He said he put it on dolly, bloop, rolled it up, bloop. I was like, okay, all right. So I know I can do it. It's just gonna be hard. So I gotta figure it out. I don't know. I'll figure it out. I forget how we got it in that freaking room because it's so long and the door. I don't know. I'll figure it out. But anyway. You two. Oh, the two of us. Oh, Billy's in chat. What's up, Billy? Thanks for showing up. What's up, Paces and allgames.com/live. Go and do that. Well, yeah, of course. I mean, look, Billy. I mean, I don't do it's. Pace be antagonizing me for sport. That's what, and it's fun. And I'm gonna talk about the trailers and such, and why it was a misstep in a way. It was cool, but it was a misstep, and I'll get into that. And when we get to that part, but I'm gonna talk about Thor Ragnarok too. Bridget was like, "I want to be on the show." I was like, "No, woman, I don't have to shut up for it," and I don't. I still have to figure out how to do the dual mic. I need to get another sound jammy thingy for anyway, it doesn't matter. I know I have to do it. I just haven't done it because buying a house. And houses in Florida are more expensive than houses. Where's Doom Play again? Is in Utah or something? I don't know. He's buying a building. I don't care. I'm buying 2 buildings. Mine has a security fence around the whole perimeter. And with the rolly wheels, it goes like that. It doesn't do that because it's not automatic, but I just made it that way. Maybe I'll put a little motor on it or something. I'm not going to do that. But anyway. For 652. I could start now if I wanted to, right? Maybe. I'm drinking coffee again. I shouldn't, but I am. I'm tired. So before, moving, blah blah blah. I tore down the studio a couple weeks ago. That's why there hasn't been a show. It's like, oh man, I can't do music, can't do the sound for the game I'm working on, which I can't reveal the name yet because I'm not the dude to do that. And I was like, oh man, so now I got everything set up again, and I could get back to work, which is cool. But I tore it down, and I'm like, oh. It's like, and then Sunday rolls around, I'm like, oh. I felt kind of weird, like not doing the show. Not having my computers all running and stuff. And then I went back to hook everything up, and I'm like, it's not as difficult as I thought it was. I mean, I got 3 monitors, my sound box, my keyboard, mics. It's not a lot. So when I thought about it, I was like, oh, okay, it's not as bad as But I don't know. Once we get to the new place, then we got to get the internet going. There's some things we got to do. So we'll see how long that takes. I'm not guaranteed we're going to be in there. We close on a Friday. I don't know if there's going to be a show that Sunday. I highly doubt it. Because, we got to set up internets and stuff. Can't have a show without the internets. So, yeah, that's the thing. So, probably the January 5th is when we close. So, the weekend of January, so January 7th, no show. Just telling you right now, no show. And we'll be unpacking, and I'll be setting up stuff. Actually, it might be a couple weeks after that because I want to build my studio out. So I might actually do another temporary setup over there and then build the studio. And then, because I want to build that right. So we'll see. I have plots and plans in my brain. But anyway, let's start the show. You ready to start the show? Let's start the show. Let me turn this up again. Yeah. 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 What's the next? Surface? Okay. Oh. Okay. Alright, I'm starting the show. Because I feel like it. Is everything going here? We got that connected. 9 minutes. That's good. Okay. Twitch, how you doing? What up, y'all? It's R9 Cassie, official Blood Edition, Kung Crystal, super dope show for Reservoir9.com. Representing allgames.com, which isn't up at the moment, I don't think. I haven't checked. I am Stephen D. Gibson, aka Esgee, aka Electron Bandit. If you listened to the stream for the past hour, that's all my music I do. It's original. No biting. No no, how do you say, remaking? No remakes, no HD remakes, no ports, none of that. It's all original music actually, coming straight from out of my brain onto the MIDI notes and keyboard switches, and to the Abletons and the Pro Tools, onto the disk drives, out to the internets for y'all to hear and enjoy. I've over 20 tracks on the new game, but I haven't released any. I haven't been playing any of those on here, so that's gonna be a treat when y'all get to hear all those. Though that'd be good. But yeah, before I begin, if y'all shop on Amazon, which you do, getting your Xbox One X's and all that, go to allgames.com, hit the Amazon banner if it's still there. I don't remember, because when I go to allgames.com, I go straight to allgames.com/live, which there is no banner there, I believe. Let me check. I got it up here right now. Let me check real quick. Oh, there is a banner there. There it is, right there. Beetlejuice, $3.99. So yeah, so actually I lied. Go on allgames.com/live, where the chat lives, and hit the banner there too. It's on the right. It's on the right sidebar there, and shop regular, because it doesn't, it just helps all games out. It doesn't cost you any less, and it's a good look for being a supporter of us who do things on allgames.com, and it makes you a gooder person, because grammar. I guess real quick, the world is on fire. I don't know if it's still on fire in California. I was gonna say literally and figuratively, but bad stuff happens a lot, and something bad happened again today in Texas. So, I just want to do a quick little, condolences to all the families and all that stuff, as far as victims of that church incident. And that kind of ties into why there's been a reaction to the Sony Last of Us 2 and Detroit Become Human trailers of the Paris Games Week, but we'll get to that. But just wanted to say that real quick, because it sucks. And right now, the world needs happiness, right? We need happiness, joys, to escape the everyday traumas and bad and violence, right? And that's why Nintendo Switch is doing so well. That's why Nintendo's always done well, because the world is full of bad stuff, right? But Nintendo's like, yo, we for kids. And like, why are you so kiddie? Why don't you be more mature? This is why. This is why Nintendo is the way they are, because there's always room for butterflies and rainbows and balloons and bubbles and happy stuff. Am I right? Yes, I am right. I'm just saying. And that's why, Super Mario Odyssey is doing so well. It's a good game. Is it great? Possibly. Is it the greatest game ever? Hell no. Come on, son. It's not even close. I don't know if the greatest game ever can ever exist on a platform that is the Switch. I'm not saying that the games, like I said, the games aren't bad, but the hardware does hinder the potential of games being the greatest. If the greatest game, came out, I don't know, 20 years ago on a hardware that was the Switch, of course it would be the greatest at the time, but not now. So I will be talking about Thor Ragnarok first. Just want to put that out there real quick. Ty Claw says, the world needs to go see Thor Ragnarok because it will brighten up their day. Yeah. So Thor Ragnarok, I'm gonna talk about it. Is there spoilers? I don't think there are spoilers in this movie, because it's not the type of movie. It's like, oh my gosh, Loki bit off Thor's head, and now Thor's dead, but then he came back as a zombie. Now he's zombie Thor. No, that didn't happen. That was fake. I love Thor, says Smith players. Ragnarok much better than others. I agree. Thanks for showing up, Twitch. Yeah, Thor is the best Thor. Thor is the best. Thor Ragnarok is the best Thor. what was it, Mark Mothersbog, whatever his name is, did the music. Music's okay. Um, it doesn't stand out. The music and the music producer, director, whatever the dude's name, who basically licensed all the. There's a lot of licensed music in Thor Ragnarok, and in that respect, it feels like Guardians of the Galaxy. So the success of Guardians of the Galaxy has kind of infected, not in a bad way, just in a way, infected the Marvel Cinematic Universe and their approach. I will say to certain movies. So the Thor franchise, you got Thor, and then you got Thor. What was Dark World was the second one, and they were like, oh, and people were like, it's, and it was I think they were probably the worst of the Marvel Cinematic Universe movies, mainly because it didn't have a lot of humor in it. It was kind of straight and square and stuff. Ty Claus says Thor Ragnarok is one of those rare sequels that turns out better than the previous two movies. Yeah. Thor, like I said, Thor 2, Thor 3, Thor Ragnarok is better, and not just because the writing is different. I don't want to say it was better. What they did was they added jokes and character interactions that were more relatable. And it helps that Thor has evolved from the first Thor to now. He has become more relatable and human and stuff. He's not as pompous as his character would have. Well, his character was supposed to be that way. He's like a spoiled dude, but whatever. But like I said, the Guardians movies have infected the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I mean, that's the question. That's like my thing. Like, okay, so since that's happened, since Guardians has happened, now Thor feels like a Guardians movie basically, except different characters, which is not a bad thing. It's alright. It's good. I was like, okay, that's funny. Like when Hulk and Thor are arguing and stuff, I was like, okay, you know what? That's all right. That's pretty good. and like I said, I'm gonna talk about the movie, but honestly, there aren't spoilers, and I'm not gonna like quote or anything about the movies or anything like that. But it's the movie. Like I said, there really aren't spoilers. If you think about the movie, like, okay, this happens. There's a big bad guy at the end, and blah blah blah, and Thor wins the day or whatever. Basically that's it's straight. It's a straight. Basically, okay, this is what happens. Hela comes back, blah blah blah. There aren't really. It's just about the kind of how the characters are developed, and it's just a fun movie. It's definitely a popcorn movie. There's no deep message. The special effects are good. There was one shot when Loki and Thor go to, I think they show up in Doctor Strange sends them to Norway or I forgot where and I think it was Norway, and Odin's there, and Odin's standing looking on a cliff looking over the ocean, and the compositing was horrible. I was like, I could do that on my computer. That was bad. So that was the one shot I saw. I was like, nah, that's not millions of dollars right there. That was like a quick little $15 job right there. But anyway, that's just a nitpick from me, from a movie dude who has to do some of that stuff. And I saw it. I was like, arr. But everything else was cool. But what I think what happened was they took a different scene, because there was another scene that was a close up of that same scene. I think they took that and then they pushed it back, so they kind of reused some footage. I think that's what happened. And that's why it didn't quite work. Or they just didn't. Sometimes they'll do a shot and like, oh, that's just temporary, and then they didn't go back to it because it's like 2 seconds. So whatever. Target Claw says Thor Ragnarok has the best use of blank blank blank. I don't want to. Okay, that's a spoiler. I'm not gonna say that because that was pretty good, and the immigration song, but. The blank blank blank, that's one thing I won't spoil, because that I was like, it started, I was like, oh, okay, and I smiled. I was like, okay, all right. And we had a pretty packed audience, packed theater, and there was some giggles and some laughs, but it wasn't like, oh yeah, and cheering and stuff. But it was good. It was like a chill sit there, yeah. And this was before I heard like all the crazy stuff that's happening in the real world. I didn't know about the stuff going on in Texas. So, or no, did I? Yeah, I did. I looked at it this morning. So, I guess in the back of my head, I was like, "Arr." But Thor Ragnarok is like, it's like, yeah, okay. And then I forgot the Valkyrie's name. I forgot her name. Who's that one black and red chair? Huh? Who's that on black and red chair? Oh, I was like, what do you know? That's actually I haven't named her, but she's a model from Daz 3D. I think I want to say, and I modified her basically. So, because they didn't have any real clothes. Real quick, this is a tangent. Real quick, Smith Plays asked the question on Twitch. So I built the headphones because they don't have headphones. Well, I guess they do, but they didn't have anything I like. So I built the headphones, and what she's wearing is basically her body because her body's sectioned off in a part. So I took those two parts, or a couple of parts, and I kind of I extruded them a little bit, if you will, or I just kind of I scaled them. I didn't extrude them. I scaled them and then positioned them in a certain way. So it's hard to position her. I was thinking about doing like animation and stuff, but I haven't even gotten to that. And her hair, I did the same way. I just extruded her scalp, and colored it. It's blue actually. It's like a blue greenish, but it's kind of dark in there, so you can't really see it. But yeah, I haven't named her yet. So if you guys have any suggestions for names for computer hacker girl with her foot on the NES Classic with the Scorpio dev kit over there. You notice I don't have the hamburger helper PS4 Pro there because it looks dumb. And I didn't feel like building it because why? Tiger Claw says, SG, when Scourge was talking to the female Asgardians and he showed them a pair of machine guns. That was funny. He got from Texas. He called them Destin Destroy. Yeah, together destroy. That there was some funny wordplay stuff going on in there. Texas and ass guardians and that. It's still some funny there was some funny wordplay in there, and if you're a kid it might go over your head, but adults can't catch it real quick. Actually it was so on the nose as far as wordplay that the kids might actually catch it too, but dirty minded people would definitely catch it. That was pretty funny. So yeah, stuff like it's a good funny. It is funny. It's pretty funny. I think it might be I'm trying to think like the relationship between Hulk and Thor and whatever her homegirl's name was, the Valkyrie, Jeff Goldblum, the Grandmaster, that's his name. Loki's Loki. Hela. It was kind of cool. I liked how, I mean, I didn't know about the backstory. I mean, I don't read the comics or anything, so I didn't know about the backstory about Hela and Odin and all that stuff. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, all right. I think they could have. I think they could have played up that part a little bit more, because like the good thing about these movies, yes, Smith Plays. Jeff Goldblum is in it. His character is named the Grandmaster. The three MCs rock the house for the young lady. No, okay. Anyway, he's in. He's a big part of it. Yvette. Yeah, Yvette. Yvette is her name? Or Yvette. Name her Yvette. Yvette. Nah. No Ets. Bridget is the only Et in here. I want something more unique. There's like a few like people I've met in my limited travels, which is like nowhere, where I've never heard the name before. For instance, there's a person that I know that I've met, and her name is, she's a female. Her name is Liao. Actually, I think that's her last name. It's like Meow, but Liao. Yeah. So I was like, wait, I never ever heard that name. And I would imagine she's Asian. She might be Chinese. Not sure. Hayden. Nah. I'm looking for something. I haven't figured it out yet. Because you know, like you think about video game characters like Aloy, which is kind of close to alloy, except they took out a letter, took out an L, I think, right? Which is unique, and it's like, oh, that's close to Aloy. Alloy, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, that's a unique name. Never heard of it. Of course, it's more of a, I don't know. It's more of a, not a marketing thing, but it has to do with it. It has to do with marketing. So, like I said, I've heard of Hayden, Hayden Christensen. So not Flash, Grandmaster Flash, but I'll think about that. That'll be an ongoing thing, of course. The naming of Cyber Nap Girl, Nap Girl Cyber Face, Nap Girl Cyber NGCF. No, anyway, Yanova. Yeah, it's not bad, Yanova. But that sounds, I mean, Nova is similar. You just put a yan. What's up with your Y's? You got a Y fetish? Yeah, Yennefer. No. Yara. No. Juliet. No. No Y names. I'll think about it. We're talking about Thor right now, though. But you could how do you say that? Wow. Riel. That's not bad. Riel. I do want it to be like associated with video games and I guess the streaming Twitch mixer culture, hacking video game. I said that already. Video games. Tag classes, Esgee, what you thought of Korg? Korg is a great synthesizer. They make good pianos. Korg, I don't remember Korg. Who was Korg? Was Korg Carl Urban? No, that was what's a Scourge. Who was Korg? Oh, Korg was the blue rock dude. At first I was like, oh, his voice, yeah. And some of his jokes fell flat, but he was all right. It was funny when his insect dude he's like, oh, he's dead. I've just been carrying it around. And he was still alive. That was funny. That was kind of a spoiler, but not really. He was good. He was good. I'm glad he didn't like die or anything. A lot of people like Hella just killed people. Like she was like, hi, I'm Hella. And like killed like, oh snap, that's dude and that's oh snap. She was killing fools. Korg was played by the director himself. Oh, okay. That's cool. Did not know that. Yeah, the voice sounded weird. I was like, it sounded familiar, but it sounded weird. But I was like, it's unique. I'll allow it. I'll let it. I didn't let it slide, but it was good. Kaiju says, "Y is very futuristic." I know. Right? Okay, so think about this. What was futuristic in I don't know, the '80s, right? What was it like? It was the X. Everything was X, right? 32 X. Xbox One X. Sorry. Surtur was voiced by Clancy Brown. Surtur. Who that? You know what? I gotta look it up now. I don't know who the peoples are. I don't know who the peoples are. I don't know who the peoples are. Let me put it over here. IMDb. Door. Cracking a crock. Da-na-na-na. I should just click that, but I'm dumb. So there you go. That's what happens when you're dumb. Dumb. People who... Cass, here it goes. Thor, Tabatema, Valkyrie Scourge, Odin, Doctor Strange, Korg, Wakatiki. Forgot his name. Rachel House. Topaz. Who was that? Clancy Brown. Who was Surtur? Give me a picture. Come on, son. I don't... Forget it. Full cast, give me that. Volstagg. All these names, I don't know. Is the fire dude? Oh, the dude, the bad guy who wants to destroy things. Yeah, okay. Surtur. Okay. Alright, Clancy Brown. Let me see. Oh, okay, gotcha. He's yeah, he's good. He's good. I like Clancy Brown. Good guy. Yeah, Zachary Levi. I don't think he had any lines. I think it was like because he died. Spoilers. He died quick. Oh, so good. I was like, yes, they killed him. They killed him. I'm glad. Excuse me. I had Sonic earlier. It's coming up. Ash Ricardo, Odin's assistant, as Ashley Ricardo. I don't even know. Oh yeah, grapes. College girl one. Oh, they were like, oh, can I get a picture? Like, sorry, Jane, don't you? I was like, that was good. There was like funny parts that they like took the real world sensibility of just people, just regular kind of like how people talk and how things are, and they kind of infused it into the movie. Like when they went to New York, and the two college girls were like, "Yeah, let me take a picture," and they did the selfie with him. It was funny. I was like, okay, it's just little stuff like that. It's like sprinkled in throughout the whole movie. And Jeff Goldblum's character, even though he's not like a hero or anything, he's kind of a bad guy. He's not unlikable. He's just like he's a Jeff Goldblum, you know. Ty Claus says SG the Warriors 3 got wasted. Yeah, and only Sif didn't show up. Yeah. Tiger says Sif was supposed to be in Thor Ragnarok, but the actor couldn't do it because she was busy shooting her TV show Blindside. She would have got wasted too. Maybe she said, "I don't want to die." Actually, she's here. Oh, actor Sif, my bad. Yeah, that was funny when they had to play. And freaking Sam Neill is freaking Odin. That was funny. Oh, his brother was actually Thor. Okay, now I know. I was like, he kind of looks like Thor. He kind of looks like Chris, and his brother Luke played the actor Thor. Actor Loki was hilarious. I won't spoil that one, but that was funny. I was like, come on, really? Yeah, that was good. I was like, all right, you know what? There was a handful of smile moments, which should be laugh moments, really. But the smile moment is a laugh moment for me at this point in time. I'm just so tired right now. I'm like, I can't muster up a laugh. Valkyrie's sister, as guardian mother. Your boy Idris Elba was in it, of course. Loki actor. See, he's uncredited, which is good because it was pretty funny. It was very funny, and he's uncredited, but he has lines. But it was funny. Jeff Goldblum's looked like a Power Rangers villain. Yeah, he looks like, he's got the lip makeup like the Star Wars Queen Amidala. Yeah, Stanley's in it, of course. I'm not gonna spoil that. But like I said, there's not a lot to spoil in it as far as like the plot and stuff like that. Just like no one surprisingly dies except for the Warriors 3 get housed. But other than that, you didn't care about those people anyway, right? Yeah, it was good. The stingers at the end. Let's see, the last one was just extra. It was just like, okay. Which is kind of par for the course in these Marvel movies. The last stinger after the credits is just like another kind of gag laugh type of thing. It's not anything that has to do with the plot or anything, for the most part. But the first stinger was, oh, yeah, they were on it was Loki and Thor on the space cruise ship, and something happened. Just a big ship comes up, and I'm like, I don't know what that ship is, but okay. So yeah, Grandmaster is the Collector's brother, so I hope they do a scene, the two of them together. He was, huh? Yeah, I didn't know that. DevNo44, what's up, Dev? Thanks for showing up. Appreciate it. It's been a while. It's been a minute. Been a long time. But yeah, whatchamacallit? Yeah, I like Benicio and Jeff should get together. Tygo says Thor Ragnarok leads into Infinity War. Yeah, so Thor with Guardians kind of mix together because I just dropped my Pixel bot. Where'd you go, PB? There you are. You're my Pixel bot. Never forget the pixel bot. Never forget. Okay, but Thor, Thor and Guardians kind of they fit together like crazy nice, right? And Doctor Strange as well. The Doctor Strange part was pretty good. Um, I mean, they showed some of that way before, but it was cool. It was cool. It's like and like how they're like it's a little cameo here, it's a little cameo there, by this, that, and the third, this character, that character, just dotting stuff. I'm like, okay, yeah, this is good. I like this. Did Flash Gordon show up, or did they at least play Flash Gordon song in the movie? You know what? Speaking of Flash Gordon, this movie, like if they remade Flash Gordon today, this is what it would be. Thor Ragnarok felt exactly like a Flash Gordon movie, for real, for real. I was like, this is, I mean, just like taking the music out of it, because I wasn't feeling the music stuff that much. Like when they do the different license stuff, I was like, okay, that's fine. It wasn't necessary, but you know, for some people, it was cool. I don't think it added too much to any particular scene, so it wasn't, like I said, it didn't ruin it, but it didn't actually add. So I was like, whatever. But like the visuals and like where they landed, I forgot the planet, the Grandmaster's planet. It's like the junkyard of the galaxy or wherever. There's like wormholes dumping garbage on it all the time. And Thor and Loki end up there, and he said time treats you different on whatever planet it was, because Deathmill says movie was good. The barber didn't play Don't Cut My Hair. Yeah, Thor gets a haircut. Another thing about Thor Ragnarok is the look of Sakaar is very Jack Kirby. Oh yeah, I guess you know what? I mean, that's the thing. I never read the Thor comic books as far as that goes, or seen Sakaar in the comic books represented. Actually, one of those wormholes is it's called the Devil's Anus. Yeah, that was funny. That's the big one. That was pretty funny. They kept saying it too. It was funny. I was like, all right, yeah, it's PG-13, so they can say there was no F-bombs. I don't think there was an S, maybe. Might have been an S. There wasn't like bad words or anything too much. I think anus was the one they stuck to. And once again, there are some jokes about the anus, that it's they go there, and it's funny, and I'm like, okay, yeah, that's another adult joke that kids should get, because kids be having the internets and stuff. I don't know if you can hear there's a yappy yap dog outside, so since I don't have my studio all the way up, I can't muffle those sounds, but whatever. Anyway, Pay says, you know what I don't love? Fake Xbox bots. Why? We ain't talking about that. We're talking about Thor. Pace? Come on, Pace. Come on, Pace. You saw it, Pace, right? You saw Thor Ragnarok. I mean, I'm not spoiling it, but it's a good movie. It's definitely... Thor Ragnarok is a worthy addition to the MCU. Better than Ant-Man, better than Doctor Strange, better... Does Thundar show up? That would be funny. No. It's better. I think they could have possibly maybe developed Hela's character a little more. Maybe through flashback. I mean, they had like one flashback with the Valkyries, but I think that, I mean, they explained it and it was there, but I don't think it had that much of an impact. Like, I think, I don't know if Thor knew it, or he just acted like it, or he didn't care. But it seemed like it was like, oh yeah, my dad was killing fools. Like, how do you think we got all this gold? And Thor was like, whatever, I gotta fight you now. I was like, wait, your pops was like crazy now, that doesn't affect you at all. So I mean, that right there, I think they missed a little bit of not totally, but I think it could have added a little more kind of a little more motivation. Like, you can understand Hela's motivation a little bit more than what it was just being a big evil goddess of death. You know what I mean? And then people would understand why she's doing what she's doing. Still, she's the bad guy, but you know. Tagasaw says when Hulk and Thor were fighting in the arena, Hulk does the Loki thing to Thor. Yeah, I remember that. Like, this is how it feels. There's a lot of funny parts that are callbacks to the earlier movies. So yeah, Kaiju says they should do a Thor Fraggle Rock, and he says that would be off the chain. That's stupid. Stop. No, that'd be dumb. It'd be interesting, but Fraggle Rock was low budget. Y'all don't remember? I don't know if y'all remember Fraggle Rock. It's an HBO Muppet show, basically. But looking back at Fraggle Rock, I think it was filmed on video. It wasn't on film, I don't think. It's not as good as. It's low budget. It's low budget, but it's still good. I'm not saying it's bad. Devnell says from the portrait she was the original owner of the hammer. Was she? I missed that. I was like, whenever she would pop up into the, whenever they showed it a couple of times. I was like, oh, there's Thor and there's Hela. They're next to each other. Yay. So yeah, but when the thing that's bad about Thor, not so much the movie, but the marketing, is that they spoiled her crushing the hammer, and that was a big part of the movie. Like, oh, she's powerful, but they kind of spoiled that in the marketing stuff, in the trailers and stuff. So if they didn't have that, then it would be better. Becca King. What's up? Thanks for showing up. Appreciate it. On Twitch, Becca King. That's a new name I've never heard before. I think I might have to put that in the list of maybe Becca Queen for her. No, I'm not gonna do that. As Ty Cloud also says, Thor did mention about a time when he and Loki turned him into a frog. Yeah, that was funny. That was a funny little story. I like stuff like that. Like, we don't know the whole history of Thor and Loki when they grew up and stuff. So there's a whole giant history of stuff that they can dip into, and they did a little bit in this movie. Not a lot, but not a lot. Kaiju says Little Robot People is low budget. Oh, you're talking about the little green dudes? They're all right. What are they called again? I can't remember. I know the Fraggles eat their buildings. The dozers, right? I don't remember. I'm Russian. I do not know much English. I'm writing you through Google Translate. Oh, okay. Cool. Hi, Becca King from Florida. Cool, but I appreciate you showing up. Becca King. I am from Florida. And I know Das Vidanya and I know Sabaka, and that's about it. So Das Vidanya for showing up. Sabakas are cool because they're warm and fuzzy and they bark. Sabaka is a dog. If y'all don't know. I don't know why I know Sabaka, but yeah, that's what I know. So yeah. Oh, Tycho says another thing. The movie explains why Jane Foster is in the movie. Apparently they broke up. Yeah, I know, that was another thing. That's when the two college students were like, "Hey," so that was pretty good. The dozers were like real. The dozers were like real. You know what? The Dozers and the Fraggles might exist in the MCU. Who knows? I mean, Disney does own the Henson stuff, right? Fraggles and all that. I believe they still own the Muppets. And I believe Fraggle Rock, all the Jim Henson stuff falls under all of that, right? I don't know. I don't know how that works, but they could be there. Yeah. So in the MCU, have some dozers. They're probably living on Sakaar. Is that I don't remember. But anyway, but yeah, Thor Ragnarok's great. Definitely for the collection. Definitely something to just watch, just to put on. Like, you got a 4K super dope TV, you throw Ragnarok on, you're like, yo, look at this. Look at these graphics, son. You know? Korg is a cool character. Yeah, Korg is good. Like, there's something about the MCU that the DCU doesn't do, is they make characters that you like. Like, inherently, the Justice League, the Super Friends, if you will, are you're supposed to kind of like them, right? Like, oh, I like Batman, he's cool. I like Superman, he's strong. I like Wonder Woman, she's the best woman ever. I like the Flash because he's fast, and I like Green Lantern because he's green or whatever, whatever. Cyborg, blah. But when Zack Snyder got his hands, his grubby little hands on the DCU, he put his twisted sensibilities into it, and now no one likes okay, people like Wonder Woman because Zack Snyder didn't direct that movie. I guess that's why. I don't know. I mean, he had a hand in producing it, but I don't know how much he had a hand in creating what the character was or is or was. But he did the new Superman. Basically, that's his vision of Superman, which wasn't bad, but it's darker, right? So if you notice, the new trailers for Justice League, they aren't as dark. The colors aren't as kind of bluish. They aren't, the saturation is more level. The hue it's more in the middle, not cold, not too warm. It's in the middle. The colors. It's not super dark, contrasty, gritty. It's more along the lines of the bright, colorful stuff that the MCU is doing. So that's the first thing that they've changed is the actual look of the film, and that's more of a trademark Zack Snyder thing. If you look at all Zack Snyder's films, they're all dark and gritty looking, and that's just aesthetically as far as what I'm talking about. I'm not saying his movies aren't directed well or they don't look good. It's just that's a kind of a post-processing thing that they do in the color correction to make it look great. I'm gonna get to you back. Well, let me read. Bekaking says, but I'm from Georgia, the Caucasus. But I'm in Moscow. I have a question about how you feel about rap battles. I like rap battles because they be throwing out lines and they're dope. So I like them. Let me write it in chat if I can. I like rap battles. Oops. Can't spell. Chat. There we go. So he can put it in Google Translate so you can know what I'm talking about. Alright, so Kaju says, yeah, you're right. The DC movies are way too twisted and depressing. Yeah. They need more jokes. Like Alfred in Batman vs Superman, he was cool because he was like cracking jokes and stuff. He was like the comic relief. So in the Justice League, I guess Flash is supposed to be the comic relief, which is cool. So I think they need more jokes. Because this had a lot of jokes, but also they had a lot of character moments that were funny that like took them outside of being superheroes and made it more like they were like in a relationship or like roommates or something. It was pretty funny. And I was like, you know what? This is why the MCU gets it, because they're relating to the audience. Nobody knows what it's like to be the Hulk or Thor. But when you get two people who are kind of on the same level arguing about stupid stuff and they're fighting, they're throwing stuff around the room, he's throwing a giant shield. And he's like, hey, you shouldn't have thrown a shield. You could have killed me. He's like, yeah, I'm sorry. It's ridiculous and funny, but people relate to it because instead of a shield, Bridget will throw a pot at my head or I don't know, maple syrup can or something. She wouldn't do that. She'd just karate chop me. But, relatability, not depressing. We don't need depression right now. I call the movie Emo Man. Yeah. Tekla says, SG could be one of Josh Whedon's doing. Yeah, I think it might have been that plus everybody's like, yo, it's too depressing, lighten it up. So I think it was kind of a mutual type of thing. And once Zack Snyder kind of stepped away from it, then I think cooler heads or smarter heads prevailed. Kaiju says the Supergirl TV show captures the Superman vibe better than the movies. Yes, but that show's gone down. I stopped watching it because I was like, I can't watch this hot garbage anymore. It's just I don't like. I used to like the first season was cool. Then the second I was like, And then all these. I don't know. I fell off. I was like, eh. But it was cool. I kind of agree. Yeah, I kind of agree. Although I don't like the guy playing Superman in that show. It's just like, no, you're not. No. It'd be cool if they got Henry Cavill to come in. Like, yo, what's up? I'm Superman. I'm Superman. Wow, was that like? I don't know. That sounded a little bit not Russian. I'm superior man. No, that's not. That's crackhead Russian. Anyway, but the MCU has got it on lock. They doing good stuff. What was the last bad MCU movie? Thor: The Dark World, probably. Yeah. So, Tiger says, how about when Thor was trying to convince Bruce Banner to become the Hulk, but Banner refused because Thor was acting like he's not his friend. Yeah, I mean, there's stuff. There's different. There's different stuff. There's callbacks. It's like a comedy writer actually wrote this movie, or at least a funnier writer, a funny guy, And it's not like super jokes, like and it's actually like some of like how they edited it and like the little little quips and stuff. It's good. It's a good movie. So yeah, I mean that's about it as far as Thor goes. Just go watch it. It's good. It's not like a revolutionary or like, oh man, it's the best movie ever, but it's definitely a nice, happy, colorful movie, and it definitely feels like Guardians of the Galaxy. Ty Klaus says, SG, who do you think won the arena battle, Thor or Hulk? Thor won. All right, so I'm gonna spoil this real quick because in the trailers they say, oh, that's my friend. No, we work together. He's a friend from work or whatever, right? That's the fight he's talking about. So Thor and Hulk fight, and that's the Grandmasters arena. Blah blah. Devnell says, I would like for Soups to chill orbiting the sun for a few days, then come down and kick Darkseid's arse as Superman Prime. Is that a thing? Superman Prime? I never heard of that. I remember I watched All-Star Superman. We'll get back to the Hulk first story. I remember I watched All-Star Superman, the animated thing, which was probably the best Superman movie ever, where Superman gets cancer or something because he went too close to the sun. I don't remember exactly what it was, but I was like, yo, Superman. And spoiler, Superman dies in that. I think. I had to watch it again. But I was like, yo, because you think like, oh, Superman can't die. He's an alien, but he's just really strong because of the sun. But he's susceptible to some stuff. So he gets cancer, and it's like, oh, this is crazy. So yeah, I was like, okay, that's a cool twist on Superman. The Superman ethos, I guess. So back to Thor, Hulk. So Thor won, okay? So, spoilers, I'm going to spoil the end of that fight. So they're fighting back and forth, boom, boom, punching each other, bam, bam, right? And then Lex was behind that. So Thor has like a little bit of a flashback, emotional thing where he's seeing his pops and stuff, and oh, Thor, you don't need the hammer. You're the god of the hammer. No, you're the god of thunder, fool. And so he goes thunderific, and he goes all lightning eyes, and he blasts the Hulk like boosh. And he was super thunderfied, right? Super lightning-fied. He was about to slam the Hulk real good. And he had the little thing on his neck, the little slave thing on his neck, and they hit it. Grandmaster hit it, and he knocked Thor out. And then that's when the Hulk smashed him. So I was like, yeah, Thor won, because if he didn't have that thing on it, he would have smashed the Hulk. Come on, son. He would have knocked him out. And then he would turn back to the Banner, and then it would have been it. That was it. So, yeah. And when that was funny at the end, towards the end, where when Banner jumped out of the ship, it's like, you'll see. He didn't change. He just landed like, I was like, okay, that's funny. So this is a lot of funny little stuff in there. But anyway, yeah, Thor won. Thor definitely won. As far as like, I think in the comics or in the movies, the anime movies, they always tie for some reason. But in this respect, I mean, they tied. But if the Grandmaster didn't intervene, Thor would have won. Because he's the god. God versus a mutant. Come on, son. And is the Hulk a mutant? I mean, he was turned into a mutant like Spider-Man. He was turned into the Hulk. He wasn't born that way. or was it he had kind of mutant genes and the gamma radiations altered and or accelerated his genes to become the Hulk? Huh? Is that a question that's been answered already? I don't know. I'm feeling a little letter there. But anyway, I think we're done with Thor. It's a great movie. Um, Anything else as far as DCU? I am looking forward to Justice League. It's more about a morbid curiosity because I know it's gonna be a Devno says mutated genes, so yes. But I mean, my question is that did the Hulk have kind of a latent mutation in there that wasn't awakened, and the gamma radiation awakened his genes, like Spider-Man? Did he have kind of a latent mutation inside of him, and the spider bite kind of activated it, or did the spider bite give him or cause the mutation? You know what I mean? Like it's kind of like the spider bite is a virus, or the spider bite causes the mutation, or is the mutation there? The spider bite activates the genes that are already there. So, like, based on the animation of the original Spider-Man, Sam Raimi, the spider bite changes his DNA. So he was just a regular dude, and the spider bite changes and mutates. So the spider bite mutates Peter Parker. But does the gamma radiation mutate his genes, or are his genes just kind of sleeping mutated genes? The mutation was in him. He was already a mutant, but the genes were asleep. They didn't wake up when he was like a teenager or whenever they're supposed to wake up. And the gamma radiation did that or accelerated it. I don't know. So next time I'll see Stanley, I'll ask him. I damn know. Come on, son. Yes, Thor 1, Kaijudo. What's the F? What the F? I don't know what's the F. But anyway, I am looking forward to Justice League. I want to see. I like Ezra. What's his name? Ezra Miller. That's his name, right? I like him. I like him as an actor. He's good. I liked him in Fantastic Beasts, even though he was like the evil force of destruction. I like him as the Flash as far as what I've seen already. So yeah, I think it'll be good. I think it'll be great. I think it'll be grand. I think he will do well. Oh, is that? Yeah. Oh. I'm gonna. Oh, where's the thing? There's. I'm gonna press this. I don't know what this picture is. Who beats who? In earphone beats by dry. Beats by dry. Beats by who? Wow, beat by dry by Dr. Dry. Yo, that's dope, man. I want me some Dr. Dries, yo. That's funny. I can't. Let me see. Can I show everybody? It doesn't matter. That's dope. I want some of those. Dr. Dry. That's what they call her, because she's very cold. She's a frigid lady. They call her Dr. Dry. Anyway, Justice League's going to be good. I think Wonder Woman will be good. Flash will be good. Is Green Lantern supposed to show up in that movie? I think so. I think that's going to be like a end of the movie, Easter egg, after credits type of thing, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. They'll try to do something like that. DC has always been trying to emulate what Marvel's been doing. They haven't quite gotten it yet, but I mean, hopefully this will be better. I mean, Wonder Woman was good, but Thor Ragnarok is better. You know, because once again, it's less about, oh man, that's dope or that's badass or whatever. Oh man, it's that plus funny stuff. You know, and pacing and all that stuff. It's just they're just two approaches to the same type of movie, you know, and it feels more effortless on the MCU side. I think the problem, like if you look at Christopher Nolan's Batman stuff, right? That was serious. but he makes a certain type of movie, right? And it feels serious and it feels earned because of how he takes the material. And he takes it quite literally, but he also puts in a few characters that are okay, you know. Like in the first one, you got the Scarecrow, which he was pretty scary. And I liked his character, and they did certain things to make it kind of horrifying. And it was a darker movie, but that's kind of the character. And then with the second one with the Joker, yes, it was dark and homicidal and sociopathic, but it was like when he did the magic trick. Somebody see a magic trick? Boom! You know, I was like, oh. I mean, it was kind of messed up and horrific, but at the same time, you're like, okay, you know, based off of the character of the Joker, that was a good little gag that they did right there. You know what I mean? So, I think it's more about the directors and the writers taking the characters that exist in the DCU and making the most of what they are, like figuring out the essence of the characters and bringing out, like, is this character funny? If this character has no sense of humor, then you need to pair them with a funnier character so you can have that juxtaposition or the dichotomy of, you know, the Flash with Cyborg. I don't even know what Cyborg's character is as far as humor and stuff like that. So, or the Flash with Diana with Wonder Woman, because she doesn't really have a sense of humor because she is, well, in the Wonder Woman movie, but she's been around for a while, so she might have gained some more a sense of humor or something, but maybe. But she is a little more straight laced. I mean, Batman's a brooding dude, so I mean he has a couple more jokes, you know, because Ben Affleck, whatever. So, you know, they need to do that. I think they are gonna do that with Justice League. So, but anyway, done with that. Comic book time over. Now, moving on to Paris Games Week. I didn't get a chance to talk about it. Got a whole list of stuff here. I just wrote down the stuff that they showed. Kaiju says they need a Legion of Doom in the movie. Yes. They need to step hard into what people remember about the Super Friends, because this is really, they should even say, yo, they're like Super Friends or something, just something stupid, you know, to let people to say, hey, we remember what y'all remember about the you know, the back in the days, the cartoons and stuff, right? We remember, you know, give us a wink and a nod. But they're too, you know, what's his name? Zack Snyder was too super serious about it, and he's trying to make it his vision, and it wasn't, people weren't feeling it, and that's why, you know, this is all changed. So he could be a producer, but let other people direct those movies, man, for real. Because Wonder Woman is a perfect example of how your vision is not the best vision for the DCU, you know. So that's all I got to say. And I forgot who's doing the Batman movie. Mark Webb? No, it's not Mark Webb. I totally forgot. It doesn't matter. But anyway, man. So Paris Games Week happened last week. Sony did their thing. The reason why Sony pulled out all the stops, quote unquote, not quote unquote, but I guess, showed all these trailers once again. The trailer conference, the Tromfrance, let's call it that, the Tromfrance, is that they were, I don't want to say they're scared, but they needed to do something to distract people from the imminent arrival of the most powerful console, Xbox One X, and they wanted the people to talk something other than Xbox One X, which happened for about a day or two, and now everybody's talking about the X again. Nobody's talking about Paris Games Week anymore, right? You know why? Well, you know, attention spans are short, and when you just show trailers, which is what they did, and when the two strongest trailers, quote unquote, or three strongest trailers don't blow you away, don't say like, oh my gosh, I want it even more, you have a problem. Now, I'll go through the list, but I'll start with the reason why Detroit, God of War, and The Last of Us 2 didn't hit the way that they should have hit. Meaning, the content. Well, let me take God of War for first and take them out of the other two, because the other two are specific to something, and God of War is specific to something else. So God of War was just another gameplay example, right? It didn't show anything quote unquote new. It's just a different environment with some monsters. You're fighting them. That's it, right? The thing I want to talk about God of War is that sure, it looks good. It's a God of War game, third person action. Cool, all right? We saw that before. The one thing that I'm starting to realize about God of War and why people will not like it, hopefully there's a slider in the menus, but that kid is annoying. Now, I know I'm not the only one who's sitting there talking about, yo, that kid need to shut up. Oh, behind you. Oh, yeah, Herb. I'm like, no. When I heard that kid just kind of telegraphing everything that's happening in this scene, everything, like way too much, I was like, yo, this is like that Arrested Development. What's it, the Tennessee dude? I am everyday people. Them. What the hell are they called? They're not called Arrested Development. That's the show. Anyway, that song with the homegirl, she's like the hype person, the hype woman. And he's like, I don't know the words. I'm like, yo, you're annoying. You don't need to repeat every last word that what dude say. I don't like the song because you're talking too much. Just let it go. This is what Kratos' son, he's like, behind you. Oh yeah, I got him. Boom bam, Papa, let's go. I'm like, shut up, please, Kratos Jr. You just talking too much. That's the only thing I had a problem with. Everything else is God of War, you know. So, and the fact that I like the part where Kratos was like, he's like, oh man, they're gonna kill us, and if they kill us, then we gonna die forever. He's like, they usually don't attack us, just leave them alone. I was like, oh, you know what? Fatherly advice. I like that. That was cool. But kid was talking too much, so that's the only thing I gotta say negative about the God of War thing. It's God of War. It's God of War. It looks pretty good. BlizzCon don't care, which is why you wear glasses, huh? Pace your vision blows, Kaijudo. Which way? Man, Kaijudo, that press con was set up way in advance. You have a problem when you release the most powerful console and the host of an Xbox podcast isn't even willing to buy. This isn't an Xbox podcast, and I am going to buy one. I am just buying a house first, and living accommodations take precedence over a box or video gameness. So I do have patience and a little bit of, forgot the word, doesn't matter. Kaijudo says they're called Arrested Development. They had the same. Oh, it is Arrested Development. Okay, I was like, is that? All right, so thank you, Kaijudo. I was like, Tennessee, is that? Take me to another place. I forgot what the dude's name was. Is it like a Logic or Poet or? Right, it doesn't matter. Pay says, SG, you sounded like Cleveland from Family Guy. Yeah, I did. Well, I have a future if that dude doesn't. He's never going to give up the voice. But, yeah, so God of War is God of War. It'll be good. I'm not saying it's going to be bad. It'll be fine. It's just they need to turn the slider down on the kid talks. Like the Bubsy game, you can turn it up or down. Turn down that kid talking slider, please. Because that's going to turn people. If it turns me off, it's going to turn somebody else off. Don't forget Boba OG. Baba OG. Huh? Pace says. Actually, that's a problem. You, one of Xbox Blue fans, isn't even willing to pick up an Xbox One X. Baba. I am going to. It's not that I'm not willing. I am waiting because I need to have the finances nice and settled, and we need to be in the house. We need to make sure that the internet's right. We need to make sure the AC's working, even though it's winter time right now. Well, closing on winter time, still it be getting hot. Don't want to have a broke AC in Florida. Anytime, really. Why didn't they announce some new games on the Xbox? Done X. Oh, Baba OG is in the group. Oh, yeah. Whatever. Oh, well, it's not about games at this point because in 2013, what were the games for the PlayStation 4? In 2016, when the PS4 Pro came out, what were the launch games again? Well, what were they? The only game that I heard people talking about was Horizon Zero Dawn, which came out later. PS4 Pro didn't have any launch games. So why is this an issue now with the Xbox? Explain that to me, because you're not explaining it to me. You're just saying. And 2017 was the jump off of all these games coming out for PlayStation. Before it was Uncharted. What else? You just got a Gran Turismo, which kind of sucks. Your premier racing game, the first one on this generation, kind of sucks. Is the worst racing game out. Looks like soup. Why? Because it's the soup station. That's why. Look at Digital Foundry. They're like, oh, Shadow of War. Look at here's the PS4 Pro, soup. Here's the Xbox. Here's the PC, not soup. Here's the Xbox One Alpha pre-release code. That's not even final. Way better, not soup. 4K textures. You're never gonna have 4K textures on the PS4 Pro. That's why you shouldn't buy it. You see what I'm saying? It's like, oh, I'm buying PS4 Pro because it's exclusive. Just you have a PS4, just use that. Because guess what? You're gonna have the same textures on both. So if you get a Pro, you spend an extra $100 for what? For what? You get higher resolution in the geometry. But your textures are muddy PS4 regular, the amateur. So why would you do that? And then I look at the X versus regular. I look at the X versus the Pro, which is the closest competition, right? And I'm like, they went back and forth. I'm like, okay, that's a big difference. And like, oh, I don't have a 4K. It's still a big difference because textures. If you have a muddy texture and then you have a not muddy texture and it's super sampled down, guess what? The not muddy texture looks better than the muddy texture. People are like, oh no, it's not. The numbers have to match it. No. That's not how pixels and graphics work. Especially when you're super sampling, because it's not a new thing, but it's new to the vernacular of the video game console crowd. You know, and then you're gonna say, oh well, I'm gonna just put it on my PC. Like, no, that's because $500 ain't gonna buy you 4K. We already went through this. You can't do that. So, and Pace is talking about. Let's read Pace talking about. What games do I have to look forward on the most powerful console on the X? Battlefront, Call of Duty, all the third part, every third party game. It's like I can't even name them all. Anthem, every third party game that you could think of in your brain from now, from Tuesday until the PS5 comes out. That's what games. I don't even have to name any games. Every third party game. Why? Because this is why. Explain. If the PS4 Pro decides, if the developer decides, yo, I'm gonna make the PS4 Pro the best version, right? Even if they do that, they would have to literally purposefully make the Xbox One X version worse. They would have to try really hard to make it worse. If they just made it the same, like the Xbox regular version, they put it on the X, still better than the Pro. Why? Because the X automatically makes it better. Because that's how they built the system. That's exactly how the S works. You put it in, if it's 1080p native, automatic resolution jump, right? And they say, oh, the textures. Well, guess what? These developers make 4K, 8K textures for PC. So if it's on the PC, it's going to look better on the. If it's PC, PS4, Xbox, it's going to look better on the X. Period. All of them. I don't need to name game. All of them. So you could be like, oh, but we got the exclusives. Yeah, but you know what? Your exclusives will look good, but games in general will look better on the X. Period. And the exclusives, those single player exclusives, Spider-Man, all God of War, single player, Sony's giving up on that. They said, "Oh, we're gonna do games for service now." I'm like, well, "Oh, really? Okay." So something that Phil Spencer said, I don't know, a year and a half, 2 years ago, or maybe a year. Now you guys are seeing what's going on, right? You're seeing that, I mean, Lawbreakers is a bad example because that was not about the game itself. It was about Cliffy B and him putting his foot in his mouth. But I'm sorry, I'll go back. Microsoft needs to show us games. People get excited, not just the power. No games plan. It has games. All the third parties, like I said, all the third parties. If you add those up, more than exclusives on the PS4. That's the problem. That's the problem that Sony faces, is that the third party library is bigger than exclusives. That's the same. That's true on any console. Except for, it's true on any console. And the biggest games are third party, because Activision's putting, and Ubisoft, they have the bigger studios. Let's be real. Let's not kid ourselves. The biggest studios are Activision and Ubisoft. EA, I don't know what's going on over there, but sorry. If you had half the exclusive PS4 has, I probably wouldn't have canceled my Xbox. It's not about exclusives anymore, Pace. I mean, you think that's what it is. This is what people are talking about, but it really is about third party and the power. And 4K textures, which you will never experience on your PlayStation 4 Pro. So sad. That's why I'm not buying a Pro. I was gonna get a good deal, but I'm gonna buy a regular O. I might get that under $200 deal. Because why? It's the same textures. It looks exactly the same. Most of the games don't even accommodate the Pro's power. I'm like, why would I buy something that doesn't take advantage? And the X, everything takes advantage of it because that's the way they built it. You don't have to have a patch on the X for it to actually do something, and that's the problem. When Sony announced boost mode back in the day, I was like, oh boy, they're in trouble. They messed up. Because when they say boost mode, it's like, oh, now there's boost mode. I'm like, wait, that's not automatic? You had to do a update, and now it's like not everything uses boost mode. Yo, they messed up big time. Mark Cerny's smoking crack. I don't know what he's doing over there. He's a smart dude, but I guess he ain't that smart because Microsoft updid him. And it's only a year difference. So now Sony has to wait for like 3 years for the prices to kind of normalize and go down for them to even attempt PS5 because it's going to be costing too much. And Pace says, yet the PS4 is so more, how come cheaper, blah, 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 blah. Not cheaper. Yeah, well, I mean, poor people can't buy PS4 Pros either. So you talk about $100, and you're looking at the difference. Yeah, you're gonna spend $100 more because you're getting a 4K Blu-ray player. Yes. You're getting better graphics. Yes. Getting better textures. Yes. Everything's better. Load time's better. Everything's better. And once people realize that, then it's over. Sorry, I'm slacking on my Mac and here we read. If you don't have a 4K TV, the Xbox done is a shitty upgrade. Not true. And not everyone has a 4K. Only the hardcore are buying the X at launch. Hell, you're the biggest Xbox, and I don't know why you're not getting. That's a problem. That's a big problem. No, that's not a big problem. I am an isolated incident because not everybody's moving out and buying a new house at now, right? So, and the market's screwed up down here. But anyway, and it's not a shitty upgrade if you don't have 4K because super sampling it makes it look better. It's like when you had a old DVD player, right? And it basically super sampled the DVDs on your screen. Well, actually, that was upscaling, but it made it look better. That's the point. Esgee said, "Oh, man, I get the X can do true 4K textures and no super sampling sample upscale one for F's sake." And I'm not retarded. Don't talk about its lack of games. It doesn't have a lack of games. You keep saying that. You're trying to push this narrative of lack of games. If you want to talk exclusives, yes, Sony has a more compelling exclusive lineup. I will agree with that. I'm not disagreeing with that. What I am saying is that you are concentrating on exclusives. The most games that sell on both of these systems are not exclusives. They're third party. They're Call of Duty. Battlefront's going to probably be the biggest game selling this holiday. Guess what? Guess what system Battlefront plays the best on? Not the PS4 Pro, the Xbox One X. Period. Better graphics. Better load times. Probably by 50%. Better textures. Looks prettier. Come on. It's more frames per second. Come on, son. There's no comparison. There's no competition. The Soup Station Pro is just sad. It's like they tried and they messed up. You know, and and their only saving grace, the only way that they can stay competitive is if they keep their price way lower than the X. So once the price on the X start dropping, guess what's gonna happen? The Pro's gonna start dropping price. Once that first price drop on the X goes, once it goes to $449 or whatever, the Pro is gonna drop $349. Guarantee it. That's the only thing they can do because it kind of sucks. It's the worst. I was looking at it, I'm like, I'm not even, I mean, like the games, I'm like, yeah, those games look tight, yo. But I'm like, yeah, I'm not. Even though it's only 100. I know. Oh, I'm sorry. PC gamer is not even. What I do know is there are very few exclusives. Not much to look forward to. Once again, it's not about exclusives. This is about all the games. You gotta look at all the games. All the games. Why was the Atari so... Well, no. Why was the Nintendo Entertainment System, the NES, why was that so popular? Why was it so cool? Because of all them games. And they weren't all exclusives. Well, they kind of were. But they weren't all first-party Nintendo games. It's a lot of third-party stuff. And the place where the third-party games play the best is gonna get some traction. People are gonna buy it for that and only for that. There's some people who only buy Madden. There's some people who only buy Call of Duty. There's some people now only buy Battlefront. So you need to talk to those people. If I'm a PC gamer, what will you want most? PS4, Xbox. The answer is PS4. Why? Because all the Xbox games are better on PC. Depends on what kind of PC you have. You can't just, that's a blanket statement that it doesn't apply to everybody. And I have a PC that's capable of 4K. Xbox One X is still better to play the games because it's optimized way better. It can do more with less. It's ridiculous how they engineered that thing. Sony needs to take a page. They probably will because they like to bite. Excuse me. You know what? I'd take 1080p exclusives over 0p exclusives. Excuse me. Sorry. That sounds a little fanboyish. You need to rein that back a little bit, because Esgee, your only thing selling point for Xbox One X is that it can do third-party games better than the PS4. That's it. That's it. Well, that's a big thing. I don't know if you realized that, because that was the whole discussion and argument about 2013 when it was cheaper. Yes, the PS4 was cheaper, and the games played better. So one of those two things, right? People who have money, or people who can say, "Oh, $100, that's it," because they're throwing it on a credit card anyway, right? I could do $100. They're gonna want the if you have a brand new 4K TV and you understand the differences between the PS4 Pro and the Xbox One X, you're gonna get an X. Period. If you want to take advantage of your TV, but if you want to be a fanboy, then you get a PlayStation, because that's how it works. It's a Esgee, is it about exclusives on console? It's about exclusives and price. Price can change and will change. Exclusives will come and go. But games that are long-lasting, and sell the most are not exclusives. Realize that. And this business is not about, oh, exclusives. No, that's something... The exclusives are there for people to buy the system, right? But also, it's the capabilities of the system. If you say, hey, 4K system for your 4K TV, and not your fake commercial saying dynamic 4K, I'm like, that's a little disingenuous. That's a little disingenuine, because the Xbox, regular Xbox, OG Xbox, is dynamic 1080p. if you want to use that terminology, that's the same thing. And while the fanboys back in the day were saying, oh, 900p, 720, 700p, blah, blah, blah. Why would I do that? I'll do 1080p. Why is the narrative changed? Ain't nothing changed. Video games are video games. Developers want to make the best games. They want their games to look the best. And that's where it starts. The developers will make the games the best on the system that will boom. A lot of people before were saying, oh, they're not, the PS4 and the Xbox, regular Xbox, is going to hold back the X. No, that's not how games work anymore. Sorry to let you know or tell you. You know, PC games, anything on PC will look better on the X. Period. Sorry. Your exclusives are cool. Most of them coming out right now or in the near future, in the next couple of years, are all single player. So they're going to come out and boom. Hot flash, done. Who's talking about the Uncharted Lost Legacy? Is that what it's called? Lost Odyssey, Lost Legacy? Who's talking about that anymore? Who's playing that anymore? Nobody. Why? Because it's single player. No one cares. Even if it did have the multiplayer from Uncharted 4, nobody's playing it because it wasn't good. It's not real. It's just like extra credit. That's not what that game is known for. That's not the strength of that game. And that's the problem with the multiplayers that you're talking about on these PlayStation games. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, it has it, but who's going to play that? Come on, son. It's not like it's Halo where, oh, the story didn't, nobody liked the story, but multiplayer is still the bomb. People still playing Halo 5. Still playing Halo 5. Nobody's playing Uncharted 4. Nobody's playing Uncharted Lost Legacy multiplayer because it suck. Oh, Pace says, oh, I'm sorry. Go up a bit. Pace says, the X will sell well at launch. Yes, pre-orders are off the chain. But it won't have any legs. Why? No games. Not true. If you care about third-party games, you already own an Xbox or PS4. You're an Xbot, and you're not even getting the X. You keep saying that, but I already explained to you why. So you need to stop saying that because you're redundant. You're seeming like a crazy person. Why? Probably because the marginal bump in visual. No. Okay, let me read the rest of it. Probably because the marginal bump in visual frames isn't a big enough selling point for you. See, that's the problem with the Pro. You explained perfectly why the Pro is not selling. Because it's a marginal, it's less than a marginal jump. And the proof is in when they had that PlayStation meeting, whatever it's called, and people were falling asleep. And people say, oh, it was more exciting when you're there and you see it. And they're like, no, that was horrible. Mark Singling up there is like, oh, 4K and super thing. I was like, what? I don't. Okay, first, you're creepy. Second, this is stupid. What are you doing? There's like 20 people in the audience. Come on, son. Stop it. It was a horrible experience to watch on stream and made me not excited. I was interested in what he was going to say, but what he did hurt the PS4 Pro. It did not help. And now this dude, Jim Ryan, who's the mouthpiece of Sony right now, is not doing Sony any favor. They need a better mouthpiece. They have issues coming up. In the next 3 years or so, they're in trouble. You think the PS4, the PS5 is coming out anytime soon? You're dreaming. You gotta look at the PC hardware, man. AMD is there, man. The prices are crazy. You're not getting a PS5 anytime soon. Okay. So PS4 Pro sucks because it wasn't a big enough leap for $100 extra. It's not even. Some of the games don't even take advantage of the Pro. I'm like, what? Every game should. Xbox got us spoiled. They put out the S, and the S was better. You put in any game like, whoa, why is the frames better? It's automatic because we know how to do stuff. X is the same thing. So I don't know what they're doing over at Sony, but they need to take some lessons and stop smoking crack. Oh, here you go. The PS4 Pro sold more than the Xbox One at launch because the PS4 sold more because it was cheaper and more powerful. Yes, I agree. I get the Xbox One's more powerful. Now more powerful, but it's not cheaper. Yes. It's not sitting at the same spot the PS4 did at launch. Yes. If it was cheaper, yes. No, I agree with that. But I think you're putting too much emphasis on the price because the price is only $100 more than a PS4 Pro. And when you look at Digital Foundry and they're showing these things, I'm like, whoa, PS4 Pro is it's just like a PS4. Honestly, they're showing the frame rates and I'm like, what? It's like I don't even understand why the PS4 Pro is $100 more than a regular PS4. This is what Sony should do. If they were smart, They would stop selling the regular PS4. Stop it. Cut it off. Make the Pro the default, and then do an upgrade on the Pro because the jump is not big enough. So if the Pro was $250, if the Pro was $299, I'd be like, yup, and they cut off the regular PS4, or even made the PS4 $150. You know, that's probably what's gonna happen. Let's see. Sorry. Super sample 1080p is still poo-poo compared to true 4K pixels. Yes. So if you get an X and don't have 4K TV, you're doing the X a huge disservice. Yes. Yes, I agree. But it's not just about the pixels. It's about load times, which is 50. From what I've seen, Digital Foundry and some other people have actually done load time comparisons from the original X, S, and the original Xbox One, the S and the X, and the X and the S are the same as far as load times because it's the same, and then the S is literally 50% faster. You know, they cut it. It's like if it's a minute, 30 seconds, 35 seconds, something like that. So it's about load times too. So it's not just about pixels, and that's the thing because of how the memory bandwidth is so much faster, way more RAM. So they use the RAM as a cache. It's just there's so many different things that make the X better than the Xbox One S and the Pro. That is if you know anything about PCs, anything, or you know, you will realize, okay, that's way better. And if you want to compare it to PCs, you say, I can't build this for $500. There's no way I can do this. This is easy. Slap it onto my TV. Boom. It's nice and quiet. It's good to go. It's even the Xbox One X is even cooler than the PS4 Pro. It's cooler, more silent. It's everything that you could talk about as far as hardware, capabilities. Pro versus X, the Xbox demolishes the Pro. And I'm like, how can anyone sit here and argue about how awesome the X is? And why would you argue that? I understand the exclusive things, and I'm not taking away the exclusives from Sony because that's the only thing they have right now to hang on to. That is the only thing. And if their exclusives fall flat and do not perform most excellently, they're in even more trouble. Because they can't say, oh, look at these graphics, because they'll always be hindered by the fact that their system is less powerful. It's just like when the Xbox One OG launched, right? And Rise, Son of Rome came out. Beautiful game. The best graphics, right? What were people saying? Oh, it's only 900p. Oh, blah, 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 right? Right? It was a game that looked awesome. If it was on PS4, it would be awesome looking because the game just looked awesome. But people are like, oh, it's not as powerful. Oh. Pace says, SG, tell me what exclusive I have to look forward to on the X. Not about exclusives. I keep saying that. And Anthem is gonna. Well, I mean, PUBG, the most popular PC game ever right now. Y'all don't have that. I'm sorry. Do you have PUBG? No, you don't. Once again, Sony's late to the multiplayer games as a service discussion because they're insular and they want to be they want to be Sony. Like, oh, Sony, we have Spider-Man, which is good. That'll do well, but you know, single player, what you gonna do? It's one and done. You're done. You play through it, you're done. What single player games do you know of that are still being played? All these games that came out in 2017 that were Sony exclusives, except for Nier Automata. I think that's the only game that people are kind of still playing because of the nature of the game, where you have to play it and get 26 endings. You know what I mean? That's the only game, but that's because they made the game that way. No other developer made a game like that this year. You know, they have to put out DLC, The Frozen Wild. Why? Because nobody's playing that game because they done finished it. So, oh, we're going to put out DLC so people play our game again. You know, that works too. Sure. Or you could do a Grand Theft Auto thing, make it Grand Theft Auto Online, make it Horizon Zero Dawn Online, let multiple people make it, create a character. I would be down for Horizon Zero Dawn online, where you can make a little camp yourself, build little buildings, go out, hunt some dino robots. That would be cool. Why isn't Sony doing that? Because they're Sony, they're Japanese, and they're just getting to the table. So 3 years from now, you'll see some of these games of service, which is PS5. So you're done for this generation. Sony is like, we have God of War. That's it. You have your single player, because guess what? It takes a long time to make games. You can't do it in 18 months anymore, unless it's Madden or something like that. But if they're just now getting into it, the games aren't coming out for another 2 years at earliest. So 2020 is when, they are so late. I don't know what are they doing. They're just like, yeah, we're doing good. We're beating them. Yep. Oh. Wait. What's happening? Oh. These games aren't selling. Oh, wow. PUBG is sold like 12 million units. It's not even out of early access. We have all these games coming out, but they're all single player. What are we gonna do? Oh, we're gonna change our corporate statement, and now we're games of service now. It's like, welcome to the party, because I mean, wow, it took you a while, Sony, but yeah, okay, sure. That's what's up. All right, let me read some more. Pace says, I'm not on Pro's deck. I get it's not a huge jump like the X. I get it. I know. So, I mean, like I said, exclusives, that's Sony's stuff right now. And I hope they're good, because like I said, I don't want Sony to lose for Xbox to win. That's not like the discussion that we're having. The discussion is really these companies making video games better every year. Boom, boom. And Sony's doing that with their exclusives, with their single party exclusives. So that's why I'm like, yo, those are cool. It's cool. But they did no favors to video games and the video game industry with the Pro. They really hurt the Pro. They hurt the Pro and they hurt the industry, because now the perception and narrative is that, these half gen updates are whack, because what the Pro did. They come up with the Pro. It's like, this is kind of hot garbage. Why would I want this? And people are saying the same thing about the X, and it's not true. It's definitely not true. If the Pro did what the X is doing, then this would be a whole different discussion, because they'd be like, Xbox is trying to catch up. Sony is still in the lead. They're still the best. There's nothing stopping Sony now. But Sony literally tripped over their own hubris, if you will. And now they're scrambling. This is what Paris Games Week was. They're scrambling. We got to show some exclusive stuff that people will be talking about. The problem is, people are talking negatively about what they saw. The reason why, and this is what I was going to allude to before, but the reason why people are talking negatively about it, I'll get back to the chat in a second, but The Last of Us and the Detroit Become Human. The problem with those trailers or presentations, I'll say trailers, presentations, is that right now in America specifically, and in the world, but in America, because that's where me and Devnell and Pace and most people in chat live, stuff isn't great. Stuff just happened today. And you're like, really? More bad news? President comes on, really? This is what's happening? You're like, I need to escape for real. Please let me escape. Let me go to video games. And then they show this. They show hammers to the temples. They show arms breaking. I'm like, I understand that the environment in which we live in today is not happy, it's not joyous. There's a lot of bad news happening frequently. And if you take that into consideration as just an everyday person, you're like, oh man, more bad news. You're like, oh man, that sucks. Da, 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 da. You don't want to go to video games and see the same violence and see the same horrible stuff. You need a balance. You need to have a little bit of lightheartedness. That's why Thor Ragnarok is going to be really good and do really well, because it's a happy movie in a dark time in America right now. So when Sony pulls out these dark trailers, which talk about or illustrate child abuse and murder and brutal violence, it's cool in that, oh, these are video games and they're going deep and they're doing some heavy stuff, but you have to take into consideration what's happening in the world and what people want to see. When the first Spider-Man came out, right? When the first Spider-Man came out, it was right after 9/11. They had a scene. They I don't know if they actually did it, but they had a scene with the Twin Towers, World Trade Center, and Spider-Man made a web between them, and he was, I think, chilling in them or whatever. I think it was promotional or something. They took that out because 9/11 happened, right? But Spider-Man still came out. It was a feel-good movie for New York. It did very well because people were like, 9/11 freaking sucked. We need something. Everybody went to see Spider-Man. Spider-Man was uplifting. It was good. It was cool. Yay. That's what happened. That's when you create the happy. That's why Mario is doing well. All the happy games right now will do better than, Last of Us or Detroit. I don't think Detroit's going to do that well. It'll sell pretty good, but ultimately he does not know how to end games, so whatever. But that was the problem with the Last of Us 2 trailer. They weren't paying attention to what is going on in the world. And they could have made an uplifting trailer with Ellie and Joel, and they could have found a way if that's what they wanted to do. But they wanted to show the drama and the gruesomeness of the world. I'm like, okay, that's fine. That's what part of the game is. But you have to realize what's going on in the world, the environment, what people want to see. If you're putting out rated R, torture porn, blah, 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 nobody wants to see that right now because people in real life are dying. So I don't want to be reminded that people are dying and go watch a video game trailer, more people dying. It's like, that's not changing my mood. That's not alleviating any of the stresses and pressure of the real world. You're just adding to it. And that's why all those little articles and videos came out like, what's going on? Why is this it's so violent? Is this too violent? Blah, blah. It wasn't like, oh, this is awesome, so great. No. There was like no positive talk over and around those trailers. They were all like, is this right? Is this how to do? You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm like, how long can Sony do these type of games? And people, Trump is going to be in office for 4 years, I would assume, unless he gets impeached or something, or he quits. But let's assume that he's going to be in office until 2020, right? So that's how long you figure bad news will happen, because it seems like he's the harbinger of it. He's the guy bringing it. Something. Those articles are clickbait and you were bait. No, I watched the videos. It wasn't an article. I watched the YouTube videos and they were saying da 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 da, and I was like, yeah, okay, whatever. I mean, I watched the actual presentation and I was like, this is how I feel. I'm not regurgitating or reciting anything that I've read or heard on those videos. This is what I'm saying. Before I even I was watching. I was like, okay, that's gruesome, man. It looks really cool. The technology and how the graphics. Yeah, of course, it's Naughty Dog, but there's graphics. It's the same argument you're having with me about the Xbox One and its power. There's graphics and the power of the PlayStation 4 Pro and how they make the games look, and there's content, right? The content and the subtext and just everything about that is not appropriate right now. People don't want to see that. So don't matter how good your graphics look, people don't want to see that violence right now. So you can have all the exclusives, but if nobody wants to be in the Last of Us world right now, nobody's, it's gonna hurt them. Of course, I'm just saying that. Of course, people are gonna buy it because Naughty Dog, they make great games, right? So people are gonna buy it, but it's affecting the environment of the real world is affecting what people want to see in their leisure time to uh, to not forget, but to alleviate some of the stresses and the pressures of what's going on for real, for real. I'm sorry, let me go back up. PUBG isn't not even confirmed as an exclusive yet. It's an exclusive because it's coming out. It's timed at least, so we're getting that. So there you go. So you can a lot of those games that were on the PS4, the Paris Games Week weren't exclusive either. They were like 4, right? How many exclusives? Like 5 maybe. Guacamelee 2's coming out for the Xbox. Whatchamacallit, the other one. Let me pull it up. I got it right here. The Spelunky 2, Xbox. What else? Okay, Moss, that's VR. All the VR stuff. VR stuff was kind of whack. I'm just saying. VR still. They're putting. I mean, they're supporting it, but that's a dying ship. PlayLink. I want to talk about PlayLink. Sony's funny because they're acting like PlayLink is something we created. Look at PlayLink, only on the PlayStation. Okay, first of all, PlayLink is a snazzy marketing term for what the Jackbox series of games have been doing for years. I remember playing a game with my sister. It wasn't even on a video game console. I was sitting there with my phone. She was sitting there with her phone. Bridget's sitting there with her phone, like, yo, let's play a game. Boop, boop, boop. We go to this website, get the app real quick. Boom, boom, boom. We're playing a trivia game on our phones. Just link up to the server, play the game. So Sony's like, oh, yeah, PlayLink. Oh, that's good. You put a name to it, but, that's stupid because that's just the way to play games. They're acting like they invented something. It's they're like taking credit for something that's like, oh, okay, you're gonna call I guess dynamic 4K is something they're trying to coin too, right? A lot of those pre-game. I mean, everybody. Here's what's sad about the Paris Games Week: the pre-show, the pre-conference. Like Guacamelee 2, I think it was the first thing they showed. Like, yeah. Last thing they showed was Spelunky 2. Out of all those games, they had a ton of VR games, Star Child, Ultra Wings, blah, blah, blah. PlayLink stuff. Everybody's talking about Spelunky 2. Spelunky 2, non-exclusive. Oh, I'm sorry. There's a narrative here. Not exclusive, meaning it will be, ultimately, it would be better on the X. So, the game that people are talking about is not an exclusive. Wow, that's fun. It's not that funny. If they were talking about exclusives on that pre-show, I'd be like, okay, but they're not. It's kind of not good. Esgee does games. Oh wait, I'm sorry. Let me go back here. The media Detroit Last of Us 2 share. It's not about the media hate because the media hate is on the Xbox side too. So if I talk about the media hate, it's not necessarily about the media hate. It's about, first of all, what I felt and what I felt when I was watching it. Just like off the bat, words are escaping me, and the media soon followed, and kind of we're on the same line in my sentiment. So I'm not regurgitating like I said before. It's just they just happen to say the same thing I was feeling, and I didn't have a show. When was the Paris? Was it Monday? No. Yeah, I didn't have a chance to do a show or even talk about it until now. If those games are coming to the X right now, you'd be praising them, right? No. Not really, because it's the same thing. It doesn't matter where it's coming out. It's about like the atmosphere, the mood. I'm not in the mood to play something dark and heavy. Like when Sea of Thieves comes out, it's light, it's multiplayer, you're having fun with your friends. I'm like, okay, I can dig with that. We three of my friends, we have fun doing something, talking and blah blah blah. It's more fun. It's not heavy like the single player Last of Us. So, those two trailers got me even more hyped. I mean, they got hyped, and they got coverage, even though it's a little negative. But still, I mean, I don't think it's gonna affect sales, so it's not a big deal. I'm just saying they could have approached it differently, and I don't know. Well, I mean, they could have approached it differently, and the fact that they did it this way, I know that it's hard to say that because those kind of trailers and stuff were locked down before all these things were happening in the real world. So I'm not blaming them for that, but I'm just saying you have to look at what Nintendo's doing and how they're succeeding with none of that. So articles are called clickbait. Esgee, why are you speaking as if you're speaking on behalf of everyone? What are you talking about? I understand why some people are offended by it, but I bet fans The Last of Us is excited about it. For The Last of Us 2. Yeah, sure. VR is kind of whack. If VR was on Xbox, you'd be praising it, right? No. VR, the way the VR is now, all VR, not just PSVR, it is whack because you need a camera, you need lighthouses, fuck that. But the new VR is better. It needs to do more. I still think VR as a concept, how it is now, tethered is not. No, as long as it's tethered, it's still whack to me. It's hindering. You can't do as much as the technology needs to be way advanced. So I'm still not on the VR thing. I might buy a VR headset when it comes to the PC stuff because it's cheaper. But I don't know. I'm like nah. I'll definitely buy a PS4 before I buy a VR anything. Stop trying to be a hater. You can be a fan of a system and not have to be a slave to it. I'm not trashing everybody. I keep telling you, PS4, their exclusive stuff is dope, but that's all they got right now because they got outplayed by their competition. Outplayed them. Now they got the most powerful console, so they can't say that anymore. So now they're touting the exclusives, and now they're talking about it's not about console sales anymore. It's about the games of service and the how many people we have on PSN. I'm like, what? Really? So y'all are just preemptively doing this because y'all know you're gonna start losing numbers. You know that the numbers are gonna start slowing for the PS4 and they're gonna start rising for the Xbox. And I'm like, you know what? It's so transparent what Sony's doing right now, and why people aren't kind of calling them out is beyond me. I mean, I understand fanboys and stuff, but look, business is business. They're trying to do everything in their power to make themselves look good, to make Sony look good, to stay up, to save face. But people like me who see what they're doing, you can't pull the wool over our eyes. You can't say, hey, PSVR is dope, right? Then later come out with a better PSVR that actually has a HDR pass-through. How come nobody's making a big deal about this? Everybody who has the old PSVRs should be mad as hell because y'all got the hot garbage version of PSVR right now. And even this new PSVR, still hot garbage, by the way, but it's better hot garbage than the original hot garbage. And you're sitting there just, this is delicious hot garbage. Give me more hot garbage. But your hot garbage, your original hot garbage, it's a little cold. It's a little colder, so it's not as good. Wait, is hot garbage better or worse than cold garbage? I guess cold garbage is better, right? Whatever. You know what I'm saying. PlayLink is a really neat concept. PlayLink is not a new concept. It's neat, but it's not. It's something that existed that Sony just put a label on. PlayLink is what I explained before. It was what the Jackbox games do. You play on your phone. You connect to a server. That's it. So, like I said, Sony acting like they inventing bread or something. They're not. No, they're not. PUBG not exclusive. Yeah, it's on PC. That's why it's exclusive. Ultimately, it'll always be better on PC. Isn't that funny? And it'll be worse on the PlayStation 4. Isn't that funny? You'll have the worst version of the most popular game. Wow, how's that feel? Does it sting a little bit? You're like, ow, ow. Call of Duty, ow. That's the worst version. Oh, Star Wars Battlefront, oh, the worst version. The worst Station 4, Soup Station 4. It's plenty of names I'm going to come up with in the coming years, because I have years to actually brag about how the PlayStation 4 is inadequate. PlayStation 4 Pro. Inadequate. The new system is out. This is the new benchmark. This is where consoles need to... Anything coming out after the X needs to be better. If you're not better than the X, you're hot garbage. So. More like Flub G. Billy O'K's. I'm sorry, I'm like 10 minutes behind, 5 minutes behind, 3 minutes behind. Pace of this year's show would be better show if you weren't so biased. I'm not biased. You keep saying that, but you know. And you say it's like Trump. Like you keep saying it, and it's not true. Doesn't make it true. But you might be able to sway people to say, "Oh, he's biased." Like why? Because one person said that? No. I have all of the other PlayStation consoles. They're packed up in boxes here. I have them all. Because I'm a collector. If I was biased, I was like, oh, I hate Sony, I wouldn't buy their consoles. I'd be like, yeah, I don't want that hot garbage. Why would I buy that? I think I'm more of a Sony fan than Nintendo. I have a little bit more nostalgia for Nintendo, but I have more Sony consoles than Nintendo consoles. So there you go. You're a fan with no dimension. I don't know what that means. Also, a complete blueprint of an Xbox, except you're not quite there yet. You're not even getting X at launch. keep saying that. And he said sad, so you must be a little bit Trumpian. Trumpian? Is that I don't know if that's a saying. I'll make it a saying. Trumpadocious? No. Esgee. I'm not mad as hell. The new PSVR isn't all that diff. Just HDR pass through and better earphone management. Yeah, it's better. It's better hot garbage. Just saying. But okay. Bekaking said something in Twitch chat. I have to put it in translate. So copy. I hope I don't break. I think I just broke something. God dog it. Yeah, I did. Oh, the tab over here. Sorry. I broke something. Sometimes the whatchamacallit be tripping and it broke and it disconnected me. Sorry. I'm coming back. Hold on. Let me close and close. Close there. Right there. Right there. Wait. What happened to chat? Where's my chat? Anyway. Google Translate. There it is. Alright, so here, paste. Wait. What happened? I can't paste it? Oh, it didn't work. Son of a bastard. And it closed. Hold on, let me see if I can fix this. Sorry, the cocking. My computer decided to die. Oh, type it in again. Again. King. There. Oh, anyway. Alright, so let me see. I'm back. Just better hot garbage. It's like that. It comes out of your mouth. No. That's not true. Keep telling you. I think VR as a whole is hot garbage, not just the PSVR. PSVR just happens to be the hottest garbage of them all. But VR right now is not ready. I say that about the Oculus, and I say that about the Vive. They're not ready. That's why I got the stupid phone one, because I'm like, oh, this is great, and I'm not impressed. Well, I'm not impressed with that, and I played with the Vive. I mean the Oculus. So I'm like, no, it's better than what it was in the '90s, but no, this is not. No. All right, so I'm going to play on my PlayStation 4. But it says it's okay that Esgee is still a fake Xbox. You still haven't sold me on the X or even remotely piqued my interest in getting one. That's okay. That's because you're a pony. I'm realizing this more and more as we talk. And that's fine. I mean, that's what you prefer. But I don't think you should waste your money on a console that doesn't really do that much more than what you already have. That's the problem. You know, and you admit you know the difference. You're not a dummy. You're not an idiot. So just for third party games, just for that, you should be getting an X because you can play all your exclusives on the PS4. You know, trade in your S or whatever version of the Xbox you have, and get an X. You know, get $100 off. And get an X. And don't be upset. Like I said, I've already explained to you why the wait on my X, but I'm getting one. Bridget knows. She's like, I know you're getting one. Well, yeah, cool. Unless she buys it, you know, because my birthday is just coming up. It's on Friday? Yeah, it's Friday. So if anybody wants me to send me an X, hey Microsoft, send me an X. I want my birthday kind of darn time. If you want to bet third-party games, I'd get a PC. I already have a PC, and I don't know. It's not how it works, Pace. You keep all the points you bring up have been over the past couple of weeks with the Digital Foundry and all these different sites have been proven false, and that the X kind of does it better. It's more efficient. It does things better. It's just that's how it is. I mean, I don't. It's not like I'm making it up or if I'm willing it or I'm telling lies. It's just that's what everybody's saying. That's what the people are saying. That's what the Digital Foundry is saying. That's what developers are saying. And remember, in 2013, the developers were touting. They were like, "Yo, the PS4 is dope. PS4 is dope." The developers started the wave of goodwill for the PS4. Same thing's happening with the X. Now, what's happening is that the PS4 Pro is getting the same rhetoric that the original Xbox One was getting, because it's harder to make your games 4K ready, 4K to take advantage of the Pro. It's harder to take advantage of the Pro than it is the X. Developers are saying that. It's happening. They said 50 games at launch, 70 games for that 1 week, over 160 games announced. And they have only had the development kits since E3 of this year. So, and are you hearing about games that are PlayStation 4 Pro enhanced? Do they even have that nomenclature? Do they even have that on their boxes? Where you can pick up a game that says enhanced. I don't know. I mean, let me know. I'm not saying, oh, they don't have it. I don't know. So I'm just asking the question. Let's see. X gonna give it to Billy. I know what the Xbox One is offering, and I know what the X will be offering, and I'm not interested in it. I mean, the question is why? Why don't you want to see better third-party games than what you're capable of? Why don't you want to see the best third-party games other than PC? I mean, are you going to buy Battlefront on PC and play on PC? I mean, you can say, all my friends are on PlayStation. And then there you go. That's why. But don't say, oh, the Xbox is garbage because exclusives. That's not the argument. The argument is, third-party games better on the X. Why would you buy a PS4 Pro to play third-party games? If you say because my friends are there, that's why. Not because the PS4 Pro is better, but because your friends are there and that's where you want to play. That's a different reasoning, and that's anybody can understand that. Shoot. But if you're just talking about this console, this game, that game, X going to give it to you. X is better, period. So don't come back to me, oh, you ain't got no exclusives, but guess what? Battlefront 2, probably the best selling game this fall, gonna be better on the X. The best version on the X. Oh, but the PC is version, but guess what? More people are gonna buy it on Xbox than they will on the PC. Because PC, yeah, there are more PCs out there, but you are misunderstanding how many gaming PCs are capable of what the X can do. Not very many. I'm going to say less than what the Xbox has sold right now. Less than 40 million. Of course. There's less than 40 million people who have 1080 Ti extras. Billy says PS4 Pro is better. At what? See, you have to take the whole thing. You have to take the whole sentence as far as context. You can't just say, hey, let me type something right here. Billy, okay. Billy OK is a funky butt. That's whoop, not a true statement. Oh, I can't spell either. It's a joke. There you go. Oh, and I spelled is wrong. So there you go. So you can quote that with the Esgee, the best third-party games are on the PC. The best third-party games on console will be on the X this Tuesday. All my multiplayer game friends are on the Xbox, but I'm not getting an X because it's marginally 4K frames upgrade and not worth my replacing it. What? How? Why do you keep saying marginally? And what does marginally mean to you? You don't care about load times. You just want to be slow. Like, oh, I could be in this game 50% faster. But no, the marginality of the Xbox One X will prohibit me because, you know, it doesn't make sense. Tuesday when he said it. Of course I said it, but I don't remember what the context was. PS4 Pro is better at giving you soup. There you go. PS4 Pro is better at less frames per second. Yeah, that's a true statement. It's true. No. You want to know when I will get an X? When third-party games are dramatically better looking than OG Xbox. When the Xbox has inclusion interesting, and I'm not going to put down. That's a lot of caveats. Well, first off, they already look better than the PS4 and the OG Xbox. So there's one. Exclusives, you know, whatever. And if you want to spend $1,500 instead of $500, sure, waste your money. But as of right now, I'm not interested in the X, which is why I canceled my pre-order for the Xbox. He said other words too, but that's all I heard. Very funny, but you know, I mean, let's look at this games list. So I'm gonna go through the list. We kind of did the pre-conference, which is alright. So Concrete Genie, I heard people saying about Concrete Genie. Oh, Concrete Genie is so pretty. I love it. It's so good. It's like cool. And I'm looking at it. I'm like, though, what's the gameplay? Though, I see the bullies, and then he's painting stuff on the walls, and then one dude opened the door. I don't understand what this game is. What I was like when they were showing it and you started drawing, I was like, oh snap, he's gonna draw it and he's gonna jump into the world. It's gonna be a whole new little world and everything is like a different little painting and you jump into the painting and it's a new world. Nope. It's like he's still in the city drawing her. Okay, I guess that's a game. And people are like, oh man, it's so cool. I can't, oh man. And I'm like, y'all are hype masters. Y'all are just hyping up everything. Because it's not the last. I mean, I give it to him. Hey, it's not The Last of Us. It wasn't super depressive or depressing, but it wasn't. And then Erica was that PlayStation Link or whatever the heck that was. What was it? PlayStation. Yeah, PlayLink. Erica. Pass. I don't care about that. PSVR montage. Okay. That was Blood and Truth. Which is, what was it, The Getaway or something? That's just The Getaway, the actual game instead of a tech demo. So it's like, okay, that's all right. Still, VR is like garbage, so we can. Pace says again, I'd rather pick a console where I can experience games at 1080p over 0p on the Xbox. Well, I would rather experience most games in native 2160 than fake 1620. What game was that was 1620 on the PS4 Pro, but native 2160 on the Xbox One X? Just an example of how every comparison will be from now until the PS5 comes. Just prepare yourself for all of the, oh man, they can't do 4K. They suck, PS4 Pro. They should give up that moniker because it's not really Pro. It's kind of so-so. The PS4 so-so. All right, so Double and Truth, Far Cry 5. Yeah, that was Let's show another trailer of a game we've seen 29 times or Destiny 2 Curse of Osiris. Okay, I'll give them that. Destiny is a popular game. Why are you what? You know you ain't got games when you have to put out an expansion of a game. Like, oh man, look at that expansion. Same with Horizon Zero Dawn, the Frozen Wild. Come on, son. Another Monster Hunter World. Okay, so out of this list, Concrete Genie, Erica, Blood and Truth, Onrush. 4 games. You're telling me 4 games. Oh, and the Samurai game. The Ghost of Tsushima or whatever it's called. 5 games. 5 games. 5 games out of that whole Paris were exclusives. Were for like, hey, this is an exclusive, and this isn't something we've already shown. 5 out of 17. 16. 5 out of 5. That's 5. That's it. That's all you got. Guess what they didn't show? Days Gone. What happened in that game? Are they saving that for PSX? Oh man, that game. I don't think Days Gone's gonna do that good. Not in the wake of, like, you look at The Last of Us 2. I'm like, that's a better Days Gone right there. Why would I play Days Gone when you have The Last of Us 2 right here looking good? And I'm like, Days Gone. The only thing Days Gone has is that zombie swarm mechanic. That's it. And that's what the main mechanic is. And they're trying to build a game around it. And I'm like, I can understand that. But I don't think that's enough. I don't know, man. I don't know. And the Ghost of Tsushima, whatever it's called. I'm interested. They haven't showed enough. So we'll see. They'll show more at PSX, I assume. Let's see. Billy K says, Esgee, can you confirm that 48 out of 50 games downloads for Xbox One are backward compatible games from the original? No. The original Xbox has how many? Like 4, I think. And that's another thing. I mean, I didn't even go into the realm of backwards compatibility and what Microsoft is doing. And people are like, oh, nobody cares about that. Sony themselves are like, them graphics look horrible. It's hot garbage. Blah, who cares? Jim Ryan. Oh, nobody. I looked at that and it looked like hot garbage. I'm like, why would you say that about your own game? What the hell is wrong with you, Jim Ryan? Jim Ryan is the worst person to be a mouthpiece for Sony right now. But you know what? I guess they got nobody else. So, because everybody else jumped ship. Andrew Houser said, I'm out, bitches. And then the other dude was way better. But, you know. Pace says, oh, Fusion Fenry, did they show that since E3? But that is shite. So technically, I'm still correct. They showed us shite. What have Xbox shown us since E3? Yeah, but that's, you're talking about backwards compatibility versus, like, new stuff. The backwards compatibility for the Xbox is extra credit, you know, and what Sony considers extra credit, or what I consider what Sony's doing as extra credit, is the Shadow of the Colossus remake. First, Shadow of the Colossus comes out, then they do Shadow of the Colossus HD. Now a remake. How many times are they gonna freaking do Shadow of the Colossus? It's like they have a bullpen with like 1 picture in it. And it's like, damn, you suck. Get the same dude out again. But I pitched yesterday. My arm still. I don't care. Get on the mound and pitch. We gonna give you a new shirt. Go. Okay. And I heard that the controls on the remake of Shadow of the Colossus aren't that good. Kind of shitty, if you will, to use your words. Shitty. Which is a shame. If the controls of the new Shadow of the Colossus is hot garbage, Sony's doing it wrong. Because I know there's a way to play it with the old control scheme, but I'm not even talking about control scheme. I'm not talking about button placement. I'm talking about, why is this hot garbage controlling? If you're making a remake the controls. So
Billy says Sony is legally obligated to make one new Shadow of the Colossus release for every 3 Forza games Microsoft makes. I know the controls can be customized, and I know that there is a mode in it or setting where it has original controls. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about control placement. I'm talking about how the controls feel. You know, latency or accuracy or just speed movement. I heard that it kind of sucked. So, if you're making a remake the controls better. That's all I'm saying. So, whatever. We'll see when it comes out, but no, 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 no. What time is it? Oh, it's 9 o'clock, so people are gonna be down soon. Pace says, I'll take Shadow Colossus remake over shitty Xbox old Xbox games. What the F? At least we have an option to put, I can put my old original disc inside my Xbox and it works. And the thing is that I don't think you understand what the ramifications, what this means going forward. Like, you have a PS1, you got a big library of games. You got a PS3, you got a huge library of games. You can't put a PS2 disc in your PS4, can you? Nope. Is Sony gonna accommodate you for that? Nope. You know why? Because they don't care, A. And it doesn't make them money to do that. I understand this is a business, but there's also the side where, as far as a video game company, it is in the best interest of the video game company to keep the ecosystems and the video game industry healthy. So when Sony is HDing, remaking the same game 3 and 4 times, what the hell? The Last of Us 2, the original, came out on PS3. HD remake, HD upgrade on the PS4. A year to the date later. What kind of messes? Why can't it just be backwards compatible and the PS4 automatically makes it better? Oh, no. We got to sell it to you again because we're Sony. Is that healthy for the industry? You know what? It feeds more money into the industry, yes. So in that respect, yes. But as far as optics and perception, no. It makes Sony look greedy, and people aren't saying it. But I'm like, yo, I bought The Last of Us on the PS3. I played through it. If I'm a super dope Sony Last of Us fan, I probably will play the PS4 upgrade. But I'm not. So when I look at that, I'm like, well, so I should probably wait for The Last of Us 2 on the PS5 because it's going to be actually 4K on the PS. That's what Sony's telling me, is that they're going to come out with a better version of these games later. So I'm going to wait later because I don't need to play The Last of Us right now because there's no servers that connect to single player game unless it's GT Sport, where you can't even take a picture without being on the server. Hot garbage. Sony's doing it wrong on many levels, but you're ignoring these things. You're saying, oh, Sony's great. GT Sport is great. It's so awesome. Let's ignore the fact that everything, except for arcade mode, which doesn't even matter because you can't do nothing on it, everything, even the VR version, the VR options on Gran Turismo Sport suck. You can't. It's only you and one other player. What kind of hot garbage is that? I'm like, wait a second. This is a racing game. This is supposed to be a multiplayer racing game. VR is supposed to be a bonus, but then you play the VR and it's gimped, super gimped. It's like, oh yeah, well, you can only play one other player. Like, huh? Well, why would I play this? Why would I play this in VR? Looks hot garbager. Graphics aren't as good. When the graphics aren't as good in the first place, so it's even worse. And only one other. What? Come on, son. Doing it wrong. They did remakes on. They did remake the controls. How do you know that? Have you played it? I haven't played it. I heard that the controls suck. That's all I know. I heard that from somebody saying, the controls kind of not good. It looks beautiful. I'd be like, yep, that's the version I get. But if the controls are like PS2, come on, son, you better get your mind right, Sony. But like I said, we gotta wait till it's played. So the selling point for the X is third-party games and all Xbox games. You acting. Here's the thing, Pace. Pace is acting like third-party games don't matter. I'm like, wait, Call of Duty, the best-selling game last year. Still, Battlefront, probably up there too. PUBG coming, best-selling PC game for most played. While you guys get Lawbreakers, which failed a hot fiery death. That was exclusive. There you go. There's your exclusive Lawbreakers. How'd that work out? Didn't work out, did it? Oh well. Oh, what you got to say about that, huh? What you got to say about Lawbreakers? Nothing, cause it sucked. Didn't suck. The game was actually good, but for whatever reason, the PS4 community didn't step up and make that game a success. So while you're saying Xbox this and that, blah blah blah, look in the mirror. Look at your community. Look at the PS4 community, the Sony community. Are they actually supporting what people are putting down, what people are putting out? Third-party games. Are they? They didn't support Lawbreakers, because if Lawbreakers was a super dope hit on the PS4, we wouldn't be having videos out there saying there's 10 people playing Lawbreakers right now, or whatever. I mean, I know that's probably just a PC environment, because Sony's not releasing numbers on that, because they're probably ashamed. If Sony was so proud about their exclusive, why don't they release the numbers on Lawbreakers? Show me the numbers. Where's the numbers at? I don't see no numbers. Why? Because they probably like zip-a-dip, 2 people playing. Jim Ryan, and I don't know, Phil Spencer, for pity. He's like, I'll play with you. I have a PS4. Let me dust this bad boy off. Esgee, Nintendo been doing it for years. It's working for them. Why can't Sony do it? Sony's not doing it right. Because, well, Nintendo's not doing it right either. But Nintendo gets a pass, man. Nintendo's been getting a pass for a long time. And a lot of it is nostalgia, which Sony doesn't really have. They have a little bit of nostalgia on some, like the Shadow, Eco, and all that stuff. They have nostalgia on that, and that's probably why they're remaking that one in particular. But they don't have a huge, like, I guess Crash was one, but that's not Sony's. Yeah, they don't have IPs that give that nostalgia. A lot of their IPs that are hitting right now are new IPs, which is good, but they don't have that nostalgia. They don't have that nostalgic library to lean back on like Nintendo. And Microsoft doesn't really either. I mean, that's why I see Voodoo Vince and whatever that other game was, Fusion Frenzy and stuff like that. I'm like, I'm not playing. I don't have Fusion Frenzy. Not gonna get it. But you gotta admit that OG Xbox list they came out with Crimson Skies, Ninja Gaiden Black, KOTOR. Come on, son. Can you play KOTOR on the PS4 right now in HD? No, you can't. And that's a problem going forward, because you're like, oh, well, the PS5, are you going to be able to play PS4 games? Are you going to? Or are they going to cut it off too? That's an actual question you have to ask yourself as a Sony Pony fanboy or PS4 owner, because they're not doing it now. Why would they do it in the PS5? Why would they, in their vision, in their perception, not charge you again for games you want to play? Like you say, oh, Last of Us 2 4K version. Why would they not charge you again? Even if it's like $30, still charging you again. Instead of saying, yo, take your disc that you got, slap it in, we update the textures, you're good to go. They're not going to do that because they're not making money on that. They're wasting money on actually having to code and do all these updates and stuff, right? So that's the way they're looking at it. They're trying to get money everywhere they can, and it's not consumer friendly. It's not something like, oh, we're looking out for the game. We're for the gamers. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. Because they're not. They're charging you again. They're charging you for the third time for the Shadow of the Colossus. Is that for the gamer? For the gamer to spend more money. That's what it is. So, I mean, you can be a fanboy. You can say I'm an Xbot. But I'm not making these decisions that Sony's making. Okay, I didn't make the decision to make the PS4 Pro a half-assed, not really 4K machine. I didn't make that decision. I'm not making the decision to remake Final Fantasy VII for 29 years. I'm not making the decision to make Shadow of the Colossus remake. Third time being released again. And you're going to have to pay for that again. There ain't going to be no, oh, it's discount. Or, I mean, it might be a $30 game. I think it's supposed to be a $30 game or maybe 40, something like that. Not supposed to be full price. But still. Well, no, you know what? I take that back. Remake is different. Remake, if it's $30, I'm like, sure. But the HD came out. And that wasn't the HD version of Shadow of the Colossus, Eco Shadow of the Colossus. That wasn't a free update that you just put in your PS. You put it to PS2 and you put it in your PS4. No, you had to buy it again. So when you talk about backwards compatibility, and you talk about the different approaches that Sony and Microsoft and Nintendo are doing. Sony and Nintendo are doing the same. They're selling you the same game over and over again, and that's a main complaint that people have been said about Nintendo. They're gonna sell me the same thing over and over, and I'm gonna buy it because I'm a Nintendo fanboy. But I'm like, okay, that's all right. I understand that, but you know, how long can you do? You can't do that for so long. You can do that for one generation, which is when you're a kid to an adult to boom. But these younger kids that are coming up now, they don't want to hear that. If you're coming up in 4K, it's going to get better, but it's not going to get way better. It's not going to be like 480p to 4K. It's going to be 4K to 8K to 10 to 12 probably. You know, and you won't be, I mean, it'll be basically screen size at that point because pixel density, I mean, I don't know how small they can get them in, but if you get an 8K, you know, if you get a 50-inch 8K, I don't even know if there's any benefits in that. The pixel density, it'll be clearer, but you know, how? You have to get a 180-inch screen or something for it to really matter, and the text is gonna be so small you can't read it. Anyway, sorry, let me go back again. The Xbox started it first anniversary. Yeah, that was bad. They're actually going back to that, which is weird. Sorry, I'm a little behind. I bought the game for $60, played less than an hour because it's broke. Yep, that was true. Okay, turn off your stream. Just sitting here. I mean, the way you articulate your opinions without being such okay, you're not capable. Whatever. Fine, Pace. I won't read any more of your comments because you are really a pony. I didn't realize how ponylicious you are. You say, oh, I'm not a pony. I got everything. Yet and still, you're sitting on Xbox X for no reason. I'm just pointing out the flaws on the PS4 side. And I'm giving them props for some stuff, but you don't hear that, though. So sad. I mean, I know you're angry that the X is coming out, but come on, son. And the fact that you're not getting it is... Places you hate and try Sony every week, it's fact. It's a fact. You offer nothing interesting, no idea why I still tune in every week. Because the truth stings. The truth is real. I'm not saying lies. Am I lying to any lies coming out over it? Nah. I'm actually telling truths. Sony has some really great exclusives coming out. Spider-Man is going to be probably the best thing they put out as far as how it performs. Yeah, it will be because it's going to be rated teen. It better be rated teen. If Spider-Man is rated mature, then they got issues. Because I don't know if Marvel will be down with it. Would Marvel let a mature... I know Deadpool is different. Was Deadpool teen or Deadpool was mature? I don't even know. But yeah, Spider-Man needs to be teen, and it'll do good. It'll do really good. So, but there's a lot of things that Sony's has been misstepping, and their recent statements of how we're not concentrating on console numbers, now we're concentrating on services, which the PSN. I'm like, wait, what? This whole generation has been, we got 68 million, we got, and then they say shipped. Oh, we got 68 million shipped, blah, 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 right? So why are they switching now? What motivation would Sony have to switch from being the lead console seller to, PSN numbers? Why would they do that? Because they know the tide is changing. That's the thing. And that's the, I mean, that's, the sad fact. So, it's fun to be in video games right now. It's fun to look to see what these companies are doing, because I've been watching Sony for a while. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, that's cool. Yeah, all right, that's cool. But besides their third party stuff, like the difference between the regular Xbox and the PS4 isn't that great for me to say I need to get a PS4. But the difference between the PS4 Pro and the Xbox One S is greater than that. And so I'm like, if I have a choice to buy one or the other, even though I don't have a PS4, I'd buy an X over the Pro, because I would buy a regular PlayStation 4 because the Pro isn't good enough to justify it over a regular PlayStation 4, which is sad. That's the sad truth about the situation. So Sony's got a tough road ahead of them. They got some battles to fight. If those single player games don't hit like they need to, they're in super dope trouble. So we'll see. Hopefully they'll be good. I know Spider-Man will do good. God of War should be okay. Hopefully it's not like Ascension. Man, that was a hot piece of garbage. Last of Us 2 should be good, but depending on what's going on in the world, I don't know. We'll see. And Detroit, I don't know. His stuff is hit. It's miss, or maybe not miss as much. It's not hit. None of his things have been a super hit. They've been interesting, but that's about it. But anyway, I think that's all I got. That's definitely all I got. So appreciate y'all hanging out. Pace and Billy OK and everybody else, and Baka King and Twitch chat, Devno Twitch chat, all y'all Twitch chat. Appreciate it. Oh, excuse me. I got the burpees. I definitely appreciate it. Is anybody talking in here? Let me see. No, nobody. Oh, I guess so. Close that. And Monday night, Tuesday is tomorrow night is the reckoning. It's the day that the most powerful console comes out, so it's gonna be interesting. I think I'm gonna need to buy. Well, I can't do anything until I move, so I'm kind of in a holding pattern or hiatus. But I'll be looking at the news stories and see what's going on, watching Digital Foundries, and compiling a list of all the better games on the X. Actually, I just don't need to do that. I just need to look up a third-party list, and that's all of them. Sorry. But yeah, I mean, the more I look at it, I'm like, oh yeah, it's cool. Also, I've seen people say, oh, why do I need to buy this? Is it that much better? Oh, it's $100 more. It's so expensive. I'm like, ugh. Nobody said that about the PS4 Pro. Oh, it's $100 more. Why should I buy this? Nobody said that. But nobody actually bought it as well. 5-to-1 is not a good ratio. Like, oh, that's pretty good. No, that's actually not good. When you have a new system coming out, there should be super hype for it. People should be like, I'm getting that. I've heard a lot of people like, yo, I got an Xbox pre-ordered. I can't wait. Blah blah blah. Not ponies, because ponies pretend. They say, oh, I'm gonna get it because I'm a gamer. Then they cancel it because they're not really Xbox people. They're ponies. Only a pony would buy a Pro over an X when they have both already. I'm just saying, doesn't that make sense? Because the PlayStation 4 is more than capable of doing most of what the Pro does. So that's the problem, man. So actually, if Sony comes out with a Pro, like a better Pro, then I have to reevaluate the situation. I'm like, oh, okay, this one's better. It's got more RAM, or because they added more RAM in the Pro. So if they can add more RAM in the Pro, they can put a 4K Blu-ray player in the Pro. They can make it look better, because this is the only second iteration of redesign for the PS4. So, and the PS3 had 3. Yeah, so they can do another one for the PS4. Like, make a flip top, make it cheaper. I'd buy that. A cheaper flip top PS4 Pro. I'd do that. Yeah, so come on, Sony, get your shizzle together, please. I want to play some of those games. Although that controller does suck. You see that little mini controller they came out with? Oh my god, what's wrong with Sony, man? They trying to bite off Nintendo. Look, we got a little mini controller. It's wired and it doesn't have a pad on it because that was a stupid idea, so we took it out. So dumb. But anyway, appreciate y'all hanging out. I'm gonna press this button so that I can have music playing. Turn it All right, y'all. Tilt, toe, weights. That was already it. Boom, boom.